Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel.
Watch the live stream of Kincade and Salciunas, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the Mike Missanelli Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Go to youtube.com/97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia and subscribe today to be One Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Mike Missanelli, Philadelphia Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Mike Missanelli Show, and we are live today from the Philadelphia Auto Show at the Convention Center, the spacious floor where every car that's ever been made is here. It's a beautiful sight to see these brand new cars. They're all shiny and new. There's no dirt in the tread of the tires, clean and pristine. A lot of fun to be here at the Auto Show as we talk Philly sports. Filling in for Bill Colarulo today, who is currently in the waiting room, I believe, of a hospital. Excuse me, I think I got Bill disease. Ray Dunn is sitting in for Bill today. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Good. How do you feel about the Auto Show and the gleaming cars that are here?
This is beautiful. This is the first time I've ever been here.
Really?
So, yeah, I've never been to the Auto Show before, and I took a nice long walk around before the show. This is awesome.
There's going to be a day when Ray Dunn, a famous broadcaster, is invited to the black tie party prior to the auto show where you get to hobnob with all the celebrities.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure of the dress code of these things, so I was a little overdressed for when I walked in here.
No dress code here. You just, you walk here, you got all kinds of, they have all kinds of different displays where you can get into a car and run around with track and do stuff like that. It's pretty amazing, the organization that's in this auto show. So if you're coming down to the auto show today, stop and hang out with us. We're at the Cadillac area.
Not a bad spot to be.
Because we're the Cadillac of Sports Talk Radio.
That's right. Many are saying.
So we are here today at the auto show. And obviously we're going to talk about two major subjects today. One, of course, being the big football game that's coming up. There are a lot of people, as the week goes on, I've noticed that there are a lot of experts that try to outsmart themselves. And they come up with reasons why the Rams would beat the Eagles in this game. And I go... I give it the chuckle and the wave because logically the Rams aren't going to come here and win the game. Now, I think it's going to be a fairly close game. I don't think the Rams at the end of the day are going to be powerful enough to beat this Eagles team at home. If it was there, maybe it'd be a little different. I think Matthew Stafford's going to make a big mistake against this defense that's going to give the Eagles easy points somewhere along the line, and I think that's going to be the difference. The Rams are going to be formidable, but we got to stretch this whole thing out. We're not really thinking of the Eagles beating the Rams at this point. We're thinking of whether the Eagles win the whole thing. And maybe we're thinking too far ahead. Like the game at a time adage that coaches talk about. Maybe we're doing that as fans. But the only thing that matters to Eagle fans right now, it's not the Rams. It's whether they can get to the big game and whether they can win that big game. So, in the morning show was talking about it a little bit. It's I'm a little different than people who look at this Eagle team, and I go, I don't know if the Eagles are better than the teams they're going to face after this. If they face the Commanders, obviously, they're better. I'm not so sure they're better than the Lions at this stage, and I'm not so sure they're better than whoever wins in the AFC. So the Super Bowl, I go 1 week at a time, and I look at the performance from the week before, and I go, okay, is this team really together? Are they really good enough to win the bigger games? They're definitely good enough to win this game. They should win this game. If they don't win this game against the Rams at home, it would be a colossal disappointment. But when they get to the Lions, I put everything in perspective, and I go, okay, do I have a right to expect that they're going to beat the Lions and get to the Super Bowl? And then once they get there, beat that team, that representative of the AFC. So I want to take your pulse on that right now. Right now, are they good enough in your mind to say they should win the Super Bowl? And if they don't, it would be devastating.
The should is where I draw the line on that one. They should win the Super Bowl. That's where I tell you no. That would be where I stop you on that one. I think they are good enough to get themselves certainly into that Super Bowl, get to that game, and I reassess when I see what's on the other side from the AFC. I do believe they're the more talented team than the Detroit Lions when you put them side by side on paper. The issue is we've watched this Lions team now, no matter who's out there on the field, execute at a high level. We keep saying, oh, yeah, they keep losing guys defensively. Oh, yeah, they've been banged up. They've been hurt. I keep waiting for them to find out that, hey, Jared Goff, good quarterback, but maybe he's right now playing a little above his head. Well, every time you say that, they keep going out there and putting up another big offensive game. Defensively, they find guys who step up for them, and there's a chance they could get a little bit healthier by the time this really gets to the end of the season. They're going to play off a bye against the Commanders, and hey, nice story down there in Washington. I don't think they're really going to hold a candle to that Lions team this weekend. The Lions are going to get an extra day leading up into that NFC Championship game than whoever they end up facing, who we believe will be the Eagles, and then they'll have that game at home. That's a lot of factors from my vantage point that go to the Detroit side of things than the Philadelphia Eagles side of things. So while I think they are the more talented team going into that matchup on the two sides, there's a lot more that I would put into the factors of, hey, that goes the Lions' way than goes the Eagles' way in the NFC Championship game.
All right, so there are a lot of people that think the Rams can win because of the main flaw that everybody sees with the Eagles, which is they don't really pass the ball that well. They're not wrong when you look at the numbers. Again, that doesn't factor in the other things that compensate for the Eagles' lack of a passing game, and it doesn't compensate for Saquon Barkley's contribution, and it doesn't account for Jalen Hurts being able to rip you apart when he runs out of the pocket. So all those the numbers, to me, don't matter. But there is one defensive strategy that the Rams can employ, which is to cover the edges and make Jalen Hurts, when he has to throw to the middle of the field, which, let's face it, is not his strength if you look at the way he plays football. So I'm sure that's a defensive strategy that the Rams are going to employ, and I think that's going to keep it close. I don't think the Eagles are going to put a lot of points on the board in this game. I think it's going to be a really good defensive struggle. The Rams are really pretty good defensively. They've held teams, I guess the last 5 teams, under to single digits, right?
Yeah, I mean,
defensively?
They've played better defensively. I still don't think that when you match up these two teams on paper and you look, especially what the Eagles were able to do to them out there in L.A., do I think Saquon's running for 255 in this game? No, probably not. Do I think there's a chance he runs for 150? Yeah, I think so. I still don't see them being able to slow him down. Every time we've done this conversation, I feel like week in and week out, ooh, is this the week that some defense is going to be able to slow down Saquon Barkley? And then Saquon Barkley goes out there like, yeah, all right, that's why he's a running back that was in the MVP conversation for much of the season. Like, he's just able to grind teams out. He's able to wear teams out. I don't think they're going to be able to slow him down.
All right, so Bill Colarulo apparently is in the waiting room right now, but he's in the waiting room. I guess he gets itchy, and he's tweeting.
Yeah.
So, he's tweeting strategy, and he's tweeting facts about why the Eagles can't lose this game. So we'll get to him. Also, Ray, last night, the book arrived, the motivational book. It's Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. Were you able to get into it?
I feel very enlightened, yes.
Okay, so we're going to get some passages from that to make everybody else enlightened.
Absolutely.
Not only A.J. Brown, but everybody, including me, including the people here at the Auto Show, including our staff that's here. So we're going to do everybody a service today. And also we're going to talk about the Sixers. They lost in overtime last night to the New York Knicks. And it's not the loss. It's not the loss. It's the approach that this team has. It's Joel Embiid not playing again. It's just I am just so weary about the Philadelphia 76ers that I don't know how to react anymore. And I'm just curious to know how people are reacting to this. There were a lot of people down there last night. They seemed to be very excited. You decided not to go to the game.
Correct.
Because you're disgusted. And you don't know what you're going to get when you go down there and watch it. And I'm just wondering if we can pronounce the Joel Embiid era over. That's basically what I'm saying. It's not going to get any better with all these injuries. We may have seen the best of what we're ever going to see from Embiid. And I think we're going to have to process that. So I just wonder how people feel about that. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, live at the Auto Show. We're going to have some auto questions today, Ray, as well.
Oh.
Now, this is not necessarily a quiz for you, but I'm going to throw questions out for the people to think about, and then I'm going to give the answer. So I want people at home to play along.
I like the sound of that.
Mike Missanelli Show, live at the Auto Show. Back after this.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitalico, and Silvana Kelleher. The best show ever. Smart, intelligent conversation you need to hear. Listen weekdays 2 to 6 p.m.
Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it's the Mike Missanelli Show. Good morning, everybody, from the Philly Auto Show. So let me just start off the festivities with an auto question that nobody will know except old head car heads. So we're right here in front of this Chevrolet exhibit here. There's you have your eye on this gray matte Corvette.
Very nice.
You're a Corvette man?
Sure.
Yeah?
Why not? Today
I've
I
never
am.
really been a Corvette man. I don't know why. My brother was a Corvette man. He owned a Corvette, loved it. It was red. He was into that whole thing, but he's older than me in the Corvette. So there was also a power car. Like the Camaro was a power car. The Chevelle, when it first came out, was kind of a Chevy power car. So the question is, in what year was the Chevrolet Chevelle produced? For you old car heads out there, was it 1963, 1999, 1968, or 1964? What would you say?
I'll go 64.
You're going 64, and that's correct.
Oh, look at me.
Well, that's nice work by you.
That's right. General knowledge Thursday for me.
How did you know that?
I had no idea.
You just took a guess?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, guess what? You got it right.
Said the old heads, so I was like,
The old head's got it right. Okay. All right. So one thing on the Sixers game last night. Why did you decide not to go?
I'd been Friday night and I'd been Tuesday night. Friday night, about 15 minutes before my friend picked me up for the game, we found out Zion was suspended. And that was a big draw for the game because it's the Pelicans who stink and the Sixers who I think in that game were playing Maxey and George.
Yeah.
So I still wasn't seeing Embiid. But we still went, obviously Maxey and George enough to get me in the building. And then they put on a just disastrous display of basketball that they lost to a horrible, horrible Pelicans team. And then Tuesday, when I got picked up to go down to the game, as I was getting in the car, Maxey got ruled out, and then George got ruled out as we got out of the car to go into the arena. So I was like, okay, this lineup's going to be all time. We're going to talk about that lineup someday. Is like, wow, that was really a starting five they had. And so when I saw all the names that were out Wednesday, because I figured, hey, some of these guys were coming back for Wednesday, the only two that were still in the injury report, Maxey and George, they were both questionable. George had been probable on Tuesday and ruled out. Maxey had been questionable on Tuesday and ruled out. So I was like, there's a chance that I'm only going to see one of these two guys against a Knicks team that I watched knock them out last year. There's a good chance they're going to lose this game. And then I'm going to end up watching a poor third game in about 5 days.
I'm just demoralized by this whole situation.
Yeah.
I actually have a empty spot in my stomach for this situation because it's like, all right, you just have to give up the season here. And this has started from the jump. Like fans are conditioned that they have to kind of give up this season, that there's nothing to look forward to, and that their star player is at the kind of the crossroads of the end of his career. It's like so disheartening. And I just wonder if people feel the same way about it.
Oh, I'm broken up about it. You kidding me? This is like this was the season we had built up.
It breaks you, and no, I give credit to the people last night that can still be engaged in the excitement of a basketball game, but it's like so temporary, that feeling. Like last night, all right, they took it in overtime. It was exciting conclusion. They didn't have enough to pull it over the top. But it's like when you leave that game, you go, okay, well, what else do I have to look forward to? Because now they're going to play all these good teams, and they're probably going to be like more load management. And I've never experienced a season like this. Even the process, I could digest the process because I know they sucked, and I knew they were trying to suck. And so you got the cheat sheet for what that season was going to be.
Right.
And you had to digest it. This season, you're taking you're taking bites of spicy burrito, and it makes your stomach more sour and sour. But you have to take the bite because you need food.
Right.
Like, it's weird. That sounds weird, but
no, I'm right there with you.
I
understand the analogy perfectly. It's something that's going to end up making you sick, but you need some substance. That's what I feel like every time I go.
All right. Well, anyway, Dick Vermeil, the great legendary coach of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Rams. Franchise that was in St. Louis and then went to L.A. and Dick Vermeil won a Super Bowl there with the greatest show on turf and all that kind of thing. So we'll get Dick's view on this Eagle-Rams game and what can happen in this game. I don't think the Eagles are in danger of losing this game. I'm sorry. Normally, I'll get a little bit queasy, but Bill has taken some heat. But poor Bill, he's in the waiting room waiting for a baby to be delivered. He tweets out a cynical quote from people that are saying, like, the pundits are saying, the Eagles can't win a Super Bowl with this passing offense. So he tweets out, incorrect. See the similarities with the 2013 Seahawks and Legion of Boom. Top-ranked defenses, top 6 in takeaways, top 5 rushing offenses, and Seattle ranked 26th in passing yards and 31st in attempts. Well, is that an example of how it could happen, or is that just an outlier?
Well, if you want to go by history, it's an outlier.
It's can you rely on an outlier to make your point? Come on, Bill.
I don't think you can rely on the outlier specifically. I think you can rely on what you've seen with this team. And, I don't think anyone believes this team's going to get pushed around. The terms of the game are going to be dictated by them. I don't see them losing a playoff game by, multitude of points. I think any game that they play the rest of the way is going to be close. It's
like surviving a volcano when you're in the neighborhood sightseeing, right? Good for you, you survived it, but it's really not going to happen a lot,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think, though, to compare the two teams, maybe it's a nice little reference point of what can be. But, again, if you look at the history of the last 25 years, really, of the NFL, there's a reason why midseason everyone was looking at, well, this passing offense compared to previous Super Bowl winning passing offenses, either the Eagles are setting a new trend or they're about to be rolled over by the way of the NFL at some point over the next couple of weeks.
All right. We're going to talk about it. 610-632-0975. We'll get our text. And also, there was an issue last night at this 76ers game that did not involve a Sixer. It involved the New York Knickerbocker. And I'm just curious how people feel about that, because you know what it is. A player wore an Eagles jersey on the bench that played for the New York Knicks. I've never seen anything like it. I got to be honest with you. If I was a New York sports fan, I would be crazy out of my mind. But anyway, it's the Mike Missanelli Show. We're back to discuss that after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bo and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m., presented by Corona. And enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. The Eagles host the Rams on Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here is his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. We're talking about playoff football.
Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Mailata, and Josh Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Dick Vermeil joins the show at 11:25 to preview the game. Sixers fall the Knicks last night in overtime. They've now lost 4 in a row. The Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Pregame starts at 7. This update is also brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast. Freshen up your morning with Wendy's Breakfast like a breakfast baconator, ready for a fresh wake-up call. Gotta be Wendy's. Available at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
with Bill Colarulo and the young Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show live at the Philadelphia Auto Show. There's a lot more exhibits down here than I remember. I haven't been here in several years. You got the Camp Jeep over there. You got this big track. This track, you can roar around the track. It looks like a slick track, though. You know?
I think I could figure it out.
You think you can figure it out?
Yeah. If someone wants to give me the keys to one of these cars, I'm in.
Yeah, we may see some races soon. So if you hear a roar of the engines, that's what it'll be. Dick Vermeil coming up at 11:25. There's a lot of Sixers text, and we'll get to them. Sean Rodman is back at the studio. But first, another car question. All right, Porsche is a brand of car that originated in what country?
Ooh. Let's go Switzerland.
Switzerland. I don't know if Switzerland has ever produced a car, but that's got to be Germany. Let's see. Let me press Germany. Correct.
Ah, there you go.
It's a German car, Ray.
I tried.
With Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's the Swiss car.
I don't know. I saw Switzerland on your screen, so that's why I threw that one out there.
You were looking at the multiple choice? Yeah. Well, Germany was there, too.
It was. Germany felt like too obvious of an answer.
Too obvious.
It's like cars, Germany, that makes sense. Let's go with something that doesn't.
I don't know what Swiss people have. Chocolate?
Chocolate, yeah.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah.
They
wonderful chocolate.
All right, Sean Rodman back to the studio. We have some Sixers text. We have a Jalen Hurts text. Compared to Ben Simmons? What? Wait, I like to see this connection here. What do you got there, Sean?
So no name on this one. We have texter saying the whole Jalen thing reminds me of the Ben Simmons days. It was all Ben, doesn't need to shoot. Do you see the defense he plays and the passes he makes? And then eventually his inability to shoot caught up with him. Right now it's like Hurts doesn't need to pass great because we're winning. But I feel like eventually that's going to catch up to us.
So Ben Simmons not shooting the basketball eventually caught up to the Sixers. Jalen Hurts not passing, but Jalen Hurts actually does pass, right? That guy literally did not take a shot, all right? Jalen Hurts does pass the ball. So it's not a valid text.
Yeah, are they comparing the Steelers game to that one preseason 3 that Ben Simmons hit? Like, we've seen Hurts
he literally
throw the
would
football.
not. It would be like Jalen Hurts drops back and he would never pass.
Right.
Like that would be the Ben Simmons situation.
You're also ignoring an entire season of evidence you had of him being one of the best passers in the NFL.
Correct. There you go.
Yeah, I think maybe a little off on that one.
All right, let's get to some Sixers text. I'm serious about this. I really want to. I want to take your temperature on this Sixer thing because I got a hole in my stomach about it. And I hate to have that feeling. I mean, I'm a big Sixer guy. We broadcast the games, and I just go, it's like you're so beaten down with the news every night of who's not going to play. I've never seen anything like it. And it's like I think that all right, let's move on to the text for it. Go ahead.
Another texter, no name. I think.
First of all, Sean, you talking into a microphone out there? It's like you're talking into a void. Are we hooked up there, Sean?
Yeah, I'm talking to the microphone.
I can hardly hear you. What's going on here with the connection?
I'm not sure.
Oh, there you go. That sounds better.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
He says, I think the fans should react with complete apathy. The utter lack of transparency from this franchise is unacceptable, and I've given up on this season and this regime. When your best player is part-time employee, you have no shot. Maury is a joke.
Ooh. Well, I do believe that texter is right in the extent that they need to be more communicative with their fan base. You can't, listen, when something like this goes on, you just can't hide. You just can't hide and pretend that nothing is wrong because you don't want to take the heat. You have to be out there to answer questions about this. And if you don't want to answer questions, then just be honest with the people and say we're not interested now in competing. Well, this season has become such a mess. We don't know what's happening with Joel Embiid. So we have decided that we're going to shut him down for the rest of the year. And we apologize for wasting your hopes and dreams for this season. I think that's what they need to do.
I think the hopes and dreams for most people have been gone at this point.
But you got to admit, you got to go, okay, listen, I'm sorry. We thought we could make this work. We thought by managing this situation, we could make it work to the point where we would be playoff ready and be able to surprise people, even though we have a low seed. Well, now it looks like they're not even going to get into the playoffs. So at this point, you got to cut the bait and go, we were wrong. We were wrong. We tried to do it. It did not work. We apologize. We're going to give you the season tickets next year. We're lowering the prices for you.
Wow. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's never going to happen. But I'm saying, like, if you really want to be honest and earnest with your fan base, but like the problem, like last night, people were excited. And that doesn't, like, I look at it and I go, it's nice that people are excited. There's a game they can be excited about. But at the end of the day, what does it mean? And all it means is they can continue the same process about not being transparent with the fan base. Look, they got 19,000 down there last night, and everybody was excited, and we were shooting T-shirts into the crowd, and we had the mascot coming around, all that stuff. It's like it dilutes the whole disappointment of this process because it keeps people somewhat engaged, and management goes, well, they're still engaged.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you from where I'm sitting at those games, that the engagement there has dwindled significantly. I mean,
but not last night. Like,
you get a little excited, but Knicks fans did come down.
But Knicks fans came down, and it energized the building.
Right.
So when Knicks fans come down there, it energizes the Sixer fans to engage. And so when the Sixers got it in overtime, people were engaged.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point you're going to see a lot of opposing. I was surprised the number of Thunder Supersonics jerseys I saw the night before. Like, I think at this point, if you are even remotely a fan of another team, hey, come to Philly. Tickets are $5.
Let's face facts here. The Joel Embiid situation is not going to get any better. Now, people believe that if you can shelf him for an entire year, there's going to be some miracle cure, and he's going to go back to be 25-year-old Joel Embiid, where he was spry and healthy. Those days are gone. Like, we're deluding ourselves to think that he can regenerate his body to be a dominant player again. Maybe he can be dominant one day a week. Maybe Paul George can give you 2 games a week. Look at what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ready. I don't really think we have a choice on punting, unfortunately, the era, because there's no one that's going to, like, there's no way to kind of hit the reset button on this one. I can't see this season working out for you. Can I talk myself into, hey, there's a guy that when healthy this season still put up, the 30, 8 rebounds? Like, he could still be a dominant player, but can he do it night in and night out? I'm starting to question that one, because we have now seen, 13 games and 13 of 39 he's played?
The schedule gets tougher over the next couple of weeks. Look at the teams they're playing. They're playing all these winning teams, right? How many games can he possibly play against these winning teams to make the Sixers viable to win a couple of these games, to make them leapfrog into the 10th spot where they can actually play in the play-in?
How many games? Well, I'm just questioning how many games he's going to play in general, because I figured there was a time he was coming back from this. The foot sprain happened on Christmas. He played games after that, and now he's been out for 6 straight? Like, there's been the communication, like we opened this segment with, has not been there with us about what is going on with Joel Embiid. Has there been a setback? What is the deal with him right now?
Let's be honest about it. What miracle cure is going to make him Joel Embiid again? What, a knee replacement? Can you play NBA basketball with a knee replacement? I know Lindsey Vonn's trying to ski with it, but can you actually play an NBA season with a knee replacement? Has that ever been done?
I mean, I wouldn't think so. I'm no doctor, not going to play on radio, but I wouldn't think that's going to happen. You know, I have a terrifying thought about how this season ends.
What's the thought?
Playing against the Detroit Pistons.
And they lose to the Pistons?
And Tobias Harris ends the season that was supposed to be all that we were promised.
They're 3 games out of being in the 10th spot. Where are they going to make up 3 games with the schedule getting harder now?
Well, I mean, the team's ahead of them. Bulls, whatever's going to be left of the Heat after this Jimmy Butler thing. Like, it might not be as much as, like, you go on this incredible run. Last year, the Hawks were like 35-47 and made the play-in?
Yeah, but this season's different. They're all above 500 now, right?
For now.
Yeah, for now, yeah. But like I say, how much ground can the Sixers gain with this upcoming schedule? They're only going to lose ground.
Oh, this 6-game stretch that they're in the midst of right now, if they don't have Embiid, they lose all 6.
Well, let's just say they go 1-5. I don't know. What do you think? The other teams are going to collapse to that extent?
I mean, again, I'm not a big buyer in the Bulls. I'm not a big buyer in the Hawks. I'm not a big buyer in the Heat post Jimmy Butler.
Here's what I think the plan is. I think the Sixers, behind closed doors, are saying, we can't realistically make the playoffs. Let's just we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying to keep the fan base engaged. But within the next month, we have to make an announcement that we are going to shut him down.
I mean, at some point, they got to get some communication out there. The NBA is at some point, NBA is going to step in and say, hey, yo, what's the deal with this guy?
Yeah, except the NBA just made a deal with Comcast. So,
Well, yeah. There's the NBA stepping in again.
Adam Silver. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sixers win. Play that song.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
Rebounded front. Backhand shot. They score.
TheFanatic.com. Coming up at 2, the best show ever. Now, Mike Missanelli, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5TheFanatic.com.
Missanelli Show live at the Philly Auto Show. There's some great cars down here. Celebrate where I'm going to throw some car questions at Ray and the audience. I want the audience to guess along. Ray's a youngin'. He doesn't go way back with cars.
I have no idea.
So here's a Motorhead question.
Oh, boy.
It's a question for Motorheads. In most modern vehicles, Ray, you would consider yourself a man who knows modern vehicles.
Yeah, my car's from 2002.
The carburetor has been replaced with what? Do you need the answers? Multiple choice.
I mean, I can see it over your shoulder right now because I have no idea.
All right, so the answers are fuel injection, turbocharger, windshield wipers, and supercharger.
Let's roll with the supercharger.
Supercharger, I don't think that's right. I'm going to go fuel injection. Let's see. Correct.
Wow. I was right there.
3 for 3 on these questions.
I knew it wasn't the windshield
fuel
wipers.
Injection system goes right into the and makes the car have better pickup.
I see. Yeah.
The carburetor would get sludge in it and slow the car down. I'm not even a motorhead.
Yeah, I can assure you I'm not. I have no idea what's going on with cars.
All right. Well, guess what? There's a Corvette question next. So
wonderful.
You might be in with that one. Let's go to the phones here, and we'll start with Laura from Rockledge. I haven't heard from Laura in a while. Hello, Laura. You're on 97.5 Fanatic. What's up?
Oh, well, hello.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to talk to you guys again. It has been a minute. Funny thing, Corvette, oh, Lord. So, and the auto show. I don't think I've been to the auto show since, like, the early 90s. So, in 1990, right, when the ZR1 came out, remember that?
The what?
The Corvette ZR1.
No, I don't remember. I was never a Corvette man.
Okay, so it was like the fancy new vet that came out, right?
Yeah.
And I had just gotten my license. I was like 18, I think. And I'm driving my parents', tank of an whatever Oldsmobile station wagon. And this guy had just gotten this vet. Maybe he had a week. And he's old, middle-aged. Cuts me off, right? So now I'm thinking I'm cute. I'm going to now tailgate him because he cut me off. Damn if I don't rear end him. Oh, my God, I thought this guy was going to kill me. Anyway, the Eagles. So here's the thing. If somehow the Commanders finagle, and it would be finagling their way past this week, they're the only team left at this juncture that I would be, saying if we lost to, it would be...
Devastating?
Fluke.
A fluke.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Listen, realistically.
Anybody else that's left, I would say, is a worthy opponent.
No, I agree. There's no way the Commanders come in here and win an NFC title game in Philadelphia. They're not good enough for that.
We would deserve to lose at that point, seriously.
Yeah, well, that would be a disaster.
That would be an
really. I mean, for 2 weeks
we're not
we'd
even
be taking
that.
Sirianni getting fired calls. That's what we'll be doing for 2 weeks.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah.
Good talking to you guys.
All right, there, Laura, checking in, checking out. How about that?
Yeah, I think it'd be, Rams, Commanders, and Texans would be the 3 teams right now that if the Eagles were to lose to, I think we'd spend an entire month with Sirianni on the griddle.
Yeah. They will not lose to the Rams.
They're not going to play the Commanders, and they're not going to play the Texans.
I have to reevaluate the Lions when we get to it.
We're all just, this all just
it's funny.
leads to
Nobody's
that.
afraid of, the Lions are still, I think it's because of Bill.
Bill's seeped into the fan base, you think?
I think Bill has disrespected the Lions so much that people have bought into it, saying, the Eagles are going to go there and win. And I go, realistically, the Lions are pretty good there. So I'm not so sure that happens. Now, if they lose to the Lions there, am I going to be devastated? No, I will not. I will not be devastated. Because right now, I've got the Eagles slightly below the Lions. I know that irritates people. But, listen, I hope they win. For the benefit of the fan base, I hope that, we get to experience the thrill again of a Super Bowl, an out-of-town Super Bowl, or people go crazy and make their pilgrimage to New Orleans and all that stuff. That'll be fun to talk about. We might even be down there to broadcast. Slim chance of that, but we might be.
Speak it into existence, Mike.
Right. So, but right now, I would not be devastated unless they lost this game?
Yeah, I'll be devastated if they don't make the Super Bowl.
You really?
Yeah.
You would be
For sure.
devastated if they did not make the Super Bowl without even thinking that, well, maybe they just weren't as good as the other team. Because you can make that case, right?
I think they're just as good as the Lions. I really do. I do think they're just as good as the Lions. It's not a discredit to the Lions. I think this Eagles team is just that good.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I have a lot more respect for the Lions than a lot of people do. I think they weathered the storm with having all those kind of injuries and still playing at a really high level. And what they did to Minnesota just took them apart. I think that's a team that really believes in themselves. Not that the Eagles don't. But I think that game, the Lions would be a favorite in that game. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They'll be a favorite in that game. But I just see these opportunities as getting to the Super Bowl, the opportunity to win a Super Bowl. You know, as much as we want to think, oh, yeah, look at how young that defense is and look at how loaded this offense is. You can't just, infer there's going to be years upon years upon years of success that just follow one season like this. You right now are right at part of the final 8 teams involved in this tournament, and you on your side of the bracket with this, with the NFC, I think you're just as good as the number 1 seed in this conference. Therefore, if you don't make it to the Super Bowl, yeah, I'll be sitting here devastated.
Okay. I put things in perspective like that. I go, it's one of those years. They just were a little lesser than that other team. That's why I don't get devastated. When the Eagles have lost, the only time I've been devastated is when the Eagles have lost in NFC title games to lesser opponents. Those things devastate.
Yeah, so
like losing
Bucs,
to Tampa Bay, losing to the Cardinals, losing to the Carolina Panthers. Those things I can't get out of my crawl. But when you lose to the Patriots, all right. You lose to the Chiefs.
See, going into it, all right, yes. When you're up 10 at halftime and I watch Patrick Mahomes hobble off that field, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get over that one for a long time.
It's still the heart of a champion that you lost to, so I can't get overly devastated. All right, we got a break coming up, but I want to introduce this concept, this topic of last night. And I want you to try to reverse it. Because I know that most Philadelphia fans thought that was really cool what Karl Anthony Towns did last night. Oh, look at him, man. He's supporting the Birds. Go Birds. And he's got the Eagles thing on as he's sitting on the Knicks bench. And I tried to put myself in the mind of a New York fan. Not that we care about New York fans at all. But I would be so insulted if one of my players did that in the face of, like, you're representing the city of New York. The team is paying you from that city to show that much disrespect to the city by wearing the Eagles jersey, even though we lit it up. What would you have thought if it was in reverse that Karl Anthony Towns did last night?
Well, there's an example of it. Devontae Smith with the Celtics. People did not take kindly to the fact that after the game he was getting the Jason Tatum jersey signed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I saw that last night. I go, I didn't know. These NBA players, I swear to God, have absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever. It doesn't matter. The outside world, except for what's inside their own plasma, does not matter one bit. They do what they want, and oofa. Right?
I think they got Brunson on ESPN's broadcast. I'm pretty sure he said something about it.
Well, because he's an Eagle fan,
that's
right?
That's what I'm saying. He's also doing it.
Come on, man. Stop it. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bo and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. The Eagles host the Rams on Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here is his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Cam Jurgens, Mailata, and Josh Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Dick Vermeil joins the show at 11:25 to preview Eagles versus Rams on Sunday. Sixers fall to the Knicks in overtime last night. It is now their 4th loss in a row. The Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pregame starts at 7 o'clock. This update is also brought to you by Indeed.com. You don't need a job site, you need a hiring platform. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Alrighty, it is 10:56. Mike Missanelli Show live at the Philly Auto Show today. Talking Eagles and talking Sixers. Talking Carl Anthony Towns wearing the Eagles thing last night. Now, at halftime, he came out with a different thing. Came out with a New York Knicks type of sweatshirt type of thing. And he posted on Twitter, Twitter, sweat stains ain't it on ESPN. Had to pull out another fit. Anyway, go Birds. I call BS on you, Carl Anthony Towns. The bottom line is the PR people from New York Knicks said, yo, Holmes, you're getting all kinds of negative reaction. We don't need a negative reaction. How about you switch it up?
That was the biggest lie in the world. There is not a chance.
The biggest lie in the world.
Not a chance that he was like, you know what, halftime, I'm a little sweaty. Let me change.
But here's the thing. Like, what goes on in the mind of that guy when he decides to do something like that? It's like having no self-awareness whatsoever. It's like, I'm going to do what I want to do and screw the world without thinking, could this come off the wrong way to my own fan base? Like, I just don't understand. These NBA players make me nuts sometimes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I think the choice to wear it on the bench was bold. I don't think I've ever seen such a bold statement made on the bench. I thought the walk-in, like, hey, he walks in the Eagles gear, or if he finds his way to an Eagles game on a day off. That type of stuff.
You can't do it when you're in Philadelphia. You can do it somewhere else. Your own fan base is paying attention to that, just like we would pay attention to that. You go, all right, I like that. I'm gonna represent, but I can't do it here in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I'll be honest with you, I'd feel some type of way if Tyrese Maxey was sitting there on our bench when they play the Mavericks wearing a Cowboy shirt. I'm not going to lie to you. That one would sting a little bit to me. I think I am a little biased because it is a Philadelphia team that he's rocking, but ultimately that's his, that's his home. That's what he's all about. That's what, that's all he is.
Yeah, I get it, but you can't do it on the bench when you're playing the Sixers.
Yeah, but that's his heart right there. He's a South Jersey guy. He likes the
That's
birds.
his heart? What is making him a wealthy man right now?
The NBA. He was made wealthy by a different city before New York. It's not like New York just gave him everything.
I started another radio station in this town, right?
Yeah.
Is that my heart? Like, if I'm on remote, can I wear a sweatshirt for the competitor?
No.
Of course not. It would look like I'd be an idiot.
Yeah, but that would be like you wearing like a different music station. Like this isn't like he's wearing the Sixers jersey. He's got an Eagles.
Okay, if I wore a Preston and Steve sweatshirt on our show that's on YouTube, which then dilutes our own morning show, would that be appropriate?
I don't know, man.
Of course it's not appropriate.
It's all under the same umbrella over here.
It doesn't matter. We would be saying, our morning show of choice is that over our own.
I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily see the parallel exactly with it. Like, to me, I don't see with this one specifically. I think it's a very bold move going on the bench. I think that's probably where the line goes over.
It's a very bold move, is your comment? It's a very bold move?
I think
it's not an inappropriate move?
He's done the walk-in before in an Eagles jersey. Like, it's not like we're all shocked that Karl Anthony Towns is wearing something Eagles. The shocking fact is that he did it on the bench.
All right, listen, whatever. You are listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN and WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. All right, can we go back?
Well,
I'm laughing at something.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Who could have written this? Who wrote this?
I don't know. Spell check doesn't exist.
I got a sheet in front of me that I'm reading the legal ID that I just read.
You go right ahead. You take
it. Says, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, COMPCAST.
Yeah. I mean.
All right. Well.
Maybe everybody's found out there's a new rebrand with the whole Sixers deal.
Exactly what I was just going to say. It's a new rebrand. Now that they partnered with the 76ers, they threw a P in there.
It's the Comcast.
P for Philadelphia.
For the competition over the last 2 years between them.
All right. Let's Let's get to the text. There's a lot of Sixers text, and then we got to get to my man Spanky. He's been hanging. Sean Rahman back at the studio. What do you got?
Yeah, Hugh from Media checking in. He says, I 100% agree with Mike on Joel era being over. I support him and don't blame him for what happened early on, but now we need an exit plan to move on. Too bad he's got half a decade left on his contract.
And that's the other galling part. He's I don't know. I've heard some things. I heard an ex-NBA player say that during the Olympic trial, the training and all this, LeBron was constantly on his ass to work harder physically.
Okay, like if you heard that, I can't say I heard something different.
When I answered people, and they go, "Well, you can't help it that he's hurt. It's not his fault." Well, in a lot of ways, it could be. All right, I don't think you can just scratch out the possibility that he hasn't kept himself in the proper NBA shape to be a superstar. Enough shape to get by, but not to be an NBA superstar. It is possible that is the case.
I mean, I think if you want to go back to a lot of the conversation surrounding should he go to the Olympics, a lot of people thought, hey, you hope the habits of some of those champions wore off and hope that he brought some of what they have back to Philadelphia. And it certainly doesn't feel like that's happened this year. I can't tell you that, like, that argument going into the Olympics was something that I believed in, and coming out of it, I don't think that there's been the adaptation to what they do night in and night out to have themselves ready and to go win. So I can't tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, I think it's gone totally differently. Leading up to the Olympics, rehab and all that stuff, sure. What's been post-Olympics, the fact that he played in the Olympics and then we were talking about not being ready for opening night is still mind-boggling to me. And the one thing that freaks me out the most about this whole thing is I think it was The Athletic. I think it was Sam Amick who we had on, where they were talking about, did the Sixers know anything about the knee when they signed that extension? It was like, yeah, well, there's a chance. There's a chance that something
Well, they said they did.
Yeah.
But they thought they could manage it. Now, on what earth can you manage an injury through an entire season and all of a sudden expect a guy to be Superman in the playoffs? Really? What do we do? Are we stupid? Like, are we supposed to take that and go, no, I think they're going to do the right thing. I think that, as long as he's healthy for the playoffs, they're like, well, what on earth that ever happened?
Well, there's no way in the world this was the plan for this season. This bat, like the way that it's gone specifically for him. There's no way he was only supposed to play 13 of the first 39 games. I can't believe that was the case for this season.
All right, let's get to Spanky from Overbrook. Spanky, how you doing, buddy? Good to hear from you.
What's up, sir?
Hello, Spank.
Yeah, I can talk to you, Mike. What's going on?
Thanks, buddy.
So, Mike, I feel some type of way. First, I'm going to talk about Jalen, but let me get on this Sixers point, right?
Okay.
So, when they first got Paul George, I had bought this nice Sixers shirt. I don't really like to do that. I'm not really a jersey dude. I buy stuff for fashion because I like to look good in it, right? So I bought this nice Phillies Sixers shirt. It's tan with the blue trim and red letters and stuff. It looks beautiful. I was going to wear it with my Timbs and my jeans. I don't even want to wear it now, Mike, man. I'm disappointed in this thing. I don't like this team. I'm at the point right now. We was in the bar watching the game yesterday, me and my wife. And it's crazy I just said my wife. And we watching the game, and I don't feel nothing for this team no more, Mike. And it's a shame because we just had so much high hopes for this team when they got this boy, Paul George. It's horrible to even watch him, Mike. It's just horrible. And we was talking to this dude. He had season tickets. He said, I don't even want to go. He said, I'm trying to get rid of it. Nobody really feels for this team no more. They might as well just go ahead and blow it up and be done. I'm done with them. I don't want to watch them until the Sixers, till the Eagles is over, and I'm going to just let it be. Now, I got to say something, too, about Jalen, right?
Go ahead.
So, Mike, what's making me mad, right, is that how come we just can't have a quarterback that we don't got to worry about if he can or can't do this. Now, I never really liked Donovan McNabb. I thought he was corny. His persona. I thought he was corny. I still think he's corny. Yeah. But what I loved about the fact is that at least you knew we had a quarterback, and we didn't have to worry about whether or not can he throw, will he win his games, because Donovan played. Why can't we just have a quarterback like that, Mike? And what makes me mad about this Jalen stuff is sometimes it's his smugness that makes me mad. And I don't want to be going into games wondering not. We shouldn't be worrying about if our quarterback can win us games. I don't like that. It's uneasy, and I think that's what people is kind of feeling like right now. Like,
what do you feel? What smugness? Like, describe that to me. What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When they won that Pittsburgh game, right? The first thing that come out is that what y'all wanted to see? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that, Mike, man. Let's win the game. Do what you can do, but don't give us that. Is that what y'all wanted to see? Like you do it all the time. Like, come on with the BS. I just want a quarterback. When we go into a games, why do we always have to feel like can he or can he not do this? Or why are we winning in spite of? Or I know he makes big plays, and don't get me wrong, he wins, and it's always about wins. But I'm tired of having to wonder if this dude can be every week. That doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, no, I got you, Spanky. You're raising good points. So let me adjust a couple of like the smugness is interesting. Because can we play that what he said? Like, because I thought he was a little smug when he said, "You guys need to understand I play to win." Can we hear that, Sean? Can we hear that quote again? I know you've been playing it on the updates.
Yes. Give me one second.
All right. That's here. Let's examine this comment here.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
He's not wrong when he says that. He's only wrong when he says you guys need to understand. That's not the media needs to understand. It's like this is what people think of you. It's like as the media, I'm just asking you the question. So that was semi-smug, but I get it. Here's the way I look at it. I don't think he's incapable of throwing the football. I really don't. I think the Eagles have buttoned him down for the benefit of this particular team. Because early on when he was turning the ball over, they go, we can't win with him turning the ball over. We have the certainties of this team that we need to rely on. Now, at the time, defense wasn't really that solid, but they believed that the defense was going to be that solid, and they knew they had Barkley. So the only thing that could pull them down was him playing recklessly and throwing the ball and turning it over. So they decided to tailor it to whether he knows it or not. They have decided to tailor him. So is that pretty accurate?
Yeah. Oh, and I think he absolutely knows it. I think his hesitancy to rip it into some spots is very much indicative of the fact you've been told, hey, don't go out there and lose this football game.
I don't think that he knows that.
You don't think so?
No, because like he has too much pride to give into that. They have somehow been able to convince him that this is the best way to win, and they've plugged into his sense of winning. Like, whatever the coach tells you is going to win, that's it. And so he'll buy into that without looking at it like it's a slight to him. When the reality is, it is a slight to him. They don't believe in him to the extent of letting him throw high-risk throws. It's like when you're 3rd and 12. Like, they gave up that. They didn't believe that he was going to make that throw. So 3rd and 18 or whatever it was. We'd rather go this way. I think that they have not conned him, but convinced him that the way you've played all your life is the best way. We just do whatever we need to do to win.
It's interesting. It's something I think we could dive into a little bit more, because I don't know if necessarily that's the exact way I view it, but I understand where you're coming from.
All right, I got you. 610-632-0975. Dick Vermeil joins us this hour. He'll be on with us at 11:25. And more car questions. Like, the first generation of the Chevrolet Corvette was introduced in what year, Ray?
Oh.
Was it 1953, 1954, 1850, or 1960?
Oh, wow, that 1850 really speaking to me. 1954.
1954 is your answer? I think it's 1960, but let's see. 1954 is Incorrect.
I'm falling apart over here.
All righty. Well, we're back after this.
The matchup is set for the divisional round Sunday as Philly will host
Head to 975thefanatic.com/newsletter to subscribe now.
Mike Missanelli with Bill Colarulo and the young Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:16, Mike Missanelli Show live at the Philly Auto Show. This place is like the calm before the storm. It really gets I guess starting at like 3 o'clock. People pile in here and go and into the night. It's incredibly busy. People just looking at new model cars. There's something about a car that intoxicates people.
It's the lighting in here, too. The way it kind of like beams off it, nice and shiny.
Yeah, these cars are all pristine. They're all detailed.
I forgot a car could look this good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. But there is a I don't know, and female as well. There's just a fascination that human beings have with the vehicle.
Yeah, especially one that's not yours. Like,
oh, man, I like to own that. Oh, I'll never own that car.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'll
I'm staring
own
at that Corvette.
Yeah, like this Corvette. Yeah. All right, so here's another auto question for the people and for you, Ray.
All right.
You remember the PT Cruiser?
I do.
All right. What do the letters PT stand for in the Chrysler family car, the PT Cruiser? Do you want the?
Yeah, I would love the multiple choice.
Passenger transport, potato transport, performance touring, or personal transport.
I'm trying to think of, like, with the size of the PT, which one would make the most sense? Potato, I think I'm going to rule out here. Early decision on that one. I'll go, you know what, passenger transport.
Passenger transport. I don't think that's right. I'm going to say performance touring.
Oh, all right.
So let me hit performance touring, and that's incorrect.
It's personal.
Personal transport is correct.
See, I was thinking with the size of it, personal might be the right way to go.
Oh, man, look at you.
You're not,
personal transport?
But I said passenger, so I'm a fraud.
Oh, you
idiot.
said passenger?
Yeah, I thought personal first because I was like, oh, it's so small.
Okay.
Get it, but I'm an idiot.
All righty. Back to the text board. We got a ton of Sixer texts coming in, and a text on players wearing different teams. Let's hit that one first, Sean, because I'm appalled by what he did last night, and I'm not even a New York guy, you know? But what are they saying about that?
No name on this texter, but brings up someone that used to play in Philadelphia asking, didn't AI constantly wear Yankees and Cowboys stuff at press conferences before games and after games and etc.?
He did, but AI was not doing it because he was a fan of those teams. AI was doing it for fashion reasons. Whatever was hot at the time, he would rock the hat.
I would say that Kelly Green's pretty fashionable. Pretty fashionable from Karl Anthony Towns.
He's a genuine fan because he grew up in Jersey in the line of demarcation. Whether you're a New York fan or Philly fan, he decided to be an Eagle fan. But it's not the same thing as what Allen Iverson was doing. Allen Iverson flopped around from team to team, whatever he thought was hot in the Mitchell and Ness world.
Yeah, that Kelly Green looked pretty good last night. That was pretty fashionable for Karl Anthony Towns.
First of all, I get like if somebody goes to a Sixer game wearing a Flyer jersey, I get offended.
Okay, I'm curious now that we've walked down this path. For me, I went to the Bucks Saints game when I was down in Tampa 2 weekends ago. I was in an Eagles shirt.
No, that's different. I mean,
different?
That doesn't pertain to any team.
Okay,
but it's like if you're in the face of the other team with something that's in opposition of the team, that's where
Yeah, like I saw a number of Eagles jerseys at the Sixers game Friday and on Tuesday.
I mean, that's a semi-violation, not a crazy violation, because the Eagles are like a story right now. Mm-hmm. So I take each case on its own individual merits.
How do you feel about the sarcastic Eagles chants?
I don't like them.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of them.
Yeah, I don't like them. All right, let's get to the Sixers text here. Wait, did we have it? Was there a text on the players wearing stuff?
That was the AI one.
Okay. Let's get some Sixers text.
Andre from West Philly checking in. He says, I feel like it's over for Embiid. I believe that every game he sits out, Maxey should sit out because he is our future. There's no need to risk a young star for nothing.
No, he's got young legs, man. He can play all day. Young guys can run all day. You don't sit him to preserve him. You don't preserve young dudes. Yeah, well, you preserve older dudes.
I thought he was going to say just because Maxey's more efficient with Embiid. It's frustrating to watch him without him.
Yeah, Paul George has to be the most frustrated guy on earth because he can't play. He can't play 2 games in a row at this stage. Where you didn't figure that out when you acquired him. It's like another story. But he's going. Man, send me out against it with this Drek, and I don't want. That's not why I want. I'm at the stage of my career where I don't want to play with schmoes.
Yeah, his fourth quarter performances right now tell you even playing a full game right now seems like a bit of a grind on the legs.
It's like you wonder if you could take the team's pulse, how they feel about the Embiid situation, like in a private moment. Are they going, man, this dude? Are they saying that, man, this dude? Or are they going, oh no, it's prudent?
Man, this season is probably right now the way a lot of them feel.
All right, let's go to Will in Brookhaven. Wait, we got a break? Okay, we'll take a break.
From you.
Will, that'll be next. We got Mitch from Phoenix wants to talk Sixers.
Oh, boy.
I'm always delighted to talk to Mitch. Mike Missanelli Show, live at the Philly Auto Show, back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269 will be accepting applications starting January 1st until March 31st at ibew269.com. The Eagles host the Rams this Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play. From last week, here is his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Barkley, A.J. Brown, Juergens, Mailata, and Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Dick Vermeil joins us coming out after the break to preview Eagles-Rams this Sunday. Sixers fall to the Knicks in overtime last night. They've now lost 4 in a row. Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment it is, never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Missanelli. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it's 11:27, the Mike Missanelli Show. We are live from the Philadelphia Auto Show today. We got the Eagles and Rams in a big playoff game that gets you to the NFC title game. And a man who has experience with both franchises, although, you know, he loves this area, lives in this area. I'm curious to know our next guest, where his heart is. He, of course, is the great Dick Vermeil, won a Super Bowl with the Rams, got the one with the Eagles. Dick, how you doing today?
Thank you.
Dick, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm right here with you.
All right, Dick, I want to put you on the spot here because your heart is owned by both these franchises. So when you look at this game, you're sitting watching this game, do you stay neutral?
Yeah, well, you know, I live here. You know, I've lived here. It'll be 50 years in another year, okay? So this is my home. This is my team. This is my city. This is my family. So, yeah, I'm number one an Eagle fan, but that doesn't mean I don't like the Rams, and I wish them luck, but not against us. Okay.
I gotcha. All right, so when we look at this game, if you're looking at this game as a coach, the Rams have, you know, kind of gotten it together late in the season, especially their defense. So can they, from the path they have to take, they went Arizona back to L.A., they got to come back here. There's the stuff going on in L.A. It's going to be a little colder than they're used to. Give me a little matchup in this game on what the Rams face here.
Well, I think it's really difficult for any football team. Super Bowl teams like quality. It's hard to be as good as you were last week when they played as well as they did last week. It's really difficult to duplicate that performance. They played darn near for them a perfect football game. And also, though, it demonstrated how much better they are now than they were, you know, at the start of the season. So great coaching, good players maturing. It's a young team. But I don't believe they can come in here and beat the Eagles. My computer says the Eagles are favored by 12.5. No, I don't believe that. Okay, I don't believe that. But so far, the computer has been pretty accurate during the year.
What computer are we talking about here?
It's the old Bud Goody reports. It initially started all the way back in the early 70s, but now it's all computerized now, and the partner of Bud Goody, Bud passed away, put them all together, and it measures all the variables, like 75 variables of offense, 75 variables of defense, and all the variables of special teams, and packages it, and then starts giving you percentage and point spreads, okay? So it says Philadelphia favored by 12.5, but the trouble is, when you add up stats, you include the whole season. It doesn't separate, let's say, the last 6 games. The Rams are a better football team the last 6 games than they were the first 6 games. Are the Eagles a better team now over the last half of the season than they were the first half of the season? Only time will tell.
All right, so this is analyzing data and spitting it out, and so the Rams come out as a 12-point underdog, and this is really interesting.
Yes.
So let's look at it X and O wise when you're looking at what the Rams can do to beat the Eagles. The Eagles' defense has been great. The Rams obviously have improved defensively, but the Eagles have found a formula where they grind you up, they use up front, their up front strength, and even on defense that they use that. What can the Rams do to derail what the Eagles do?
Well, they have one thing going for them, is that they were annihilated the first time they played this year. And I think that gives them an emotional preparation and game day advantage. It's going to be hard for Nick and staff to convince the Eagle team that this team that they beat the hell out of, ran for 200 and something yards against, can come in here on the East Coast and beat them. So I say the Rams have that emotional and mental edge over maybe the Eagles being a little overconfident. You know, football, part of the game is emotional. That's what creates the intensity to play the game. So I think the Rams have that edge, but that's about the only edge they have.
We're talking to Dick Vermeil, the great former Eagles and Rams coach. So if you're the coach and you just laid out how difficult it is going to be for the Rams, what would be, as the head coach, what would be your message to your team? And then reverse it. What would be your message to the Eagles?
Well, number one, the Rams aren't the same team we beat in L.A. early season. They're a much different team. They're a young team that's matured, extremely well coached. Therefore, they've really improved, and they're a much better team. And so we're going to have to play like we did the first time, playing as if we're equal, and then we're playing at home and take that advantage and get after them physically. Don't allow them to think they can win the football game after that first quarter.
All right, now, if you're Nick, what are you telling your squad?
Well, guys, this isn't the same team we played. We've studied them intensely over the last week, and this team is a much better team, and we have to play better than we did the first time to beat them this time. Yeah, it just, things never remain the same in the NFL. They either get better or they get worse. The Rams have gotten a lot better.
You've probably heard what people say about the Eagles. Okay, you can't win when you have a passing game that is not supersonic these days, and the Eagles are not. The numbers say they're not, and Jalen was not supersonic last week. Can the Eagles win without an appreciable passing game these days?
Well, I think the Eagles can throw the ball more and better if they need to. But when you have the leading rusher in the National Football League and a great, powerful offensive line, you run the ball a little bit more. And you can't run and pass on the same play. So that every time you run the ball is one less time you throw the ball. And, for all season, fans and writers and reporters are saying they got to run the ball more. Well, they do. If you run the ball more, you don't have repetitions to throw the ball more. I think the Eagles could win any way they wanted to.
Okay. Let's look at the league now. I'm curious to get your view of the NFL these days. What do you think the state of the game is today? So many things have changed, rule changes, whatever. Have these changes been made? Is it a better league now than it was before? Or what would you like to see more of or less of?
I think it's more exciting. The game is more wide open. The rules have moved forward to helping the offenses, and all the calls in the secondary are more to defend the offensive player. And I just think that it's a more exciting game. Just more things are happening. They're scoring more points than they used to be. There's fewer games, 12-13, okay, or 7-10, or whatever it may be. And there's games like Buffalo has played up into the 40 points, and the Rams have played up in the 40 points. And these kind of games, it's a more exciting game, more wide open. I think it's a safer game for the players today than it was. The practices are safer and more consistently in tune with keeping a player healthy. Though on Sunday they hit just as hard. The game is played standing up today. You don't see offensive linemen in three-point stances as much anymore. You see them blocking with their chest rather than top of their shoulder pad and forehead. So there's a lot of changes like that. So, and the other thing, I think the biggest change is the quality of the wide receivers. Today, everybody catches the impossible catch. The one-handed catches, the leap, the contested catches. In the old days, you didn't see that. I think the gloves they wear now helps them, but also the quarterbacks. There's more quarterbacks that can throw 65 to 70% complete today than ever.
Dick, I know that first of all, we share an affection for wine, and so what are you sipping these days?
Well, last night we drank one of our Cabernet Francs, or part of a bottle of a Cabernet Franc, which is, it's a very expensive grape now in the Napa Valley. In fact, it costs us more to make Cabernet Franc today than it does Cabernet Sauvignon, because there's not a lot of it. And it's not a name that everybody in the United States thinks of. In France, Cabernet Franc is a dominant grape, and people are aware of the quality, and it's a great glass of wine. But it's a tougher sale. And it's part of our repertoire. I think we'll make about 200 cases a year, average somewhere around there. But it's a tougher sell, and it's expensive. It's about $125 a bottle today. But it costs us about $13,000 a ton for the grapes.
Wow. That's a lot. I got to get you down. So I'm part owner of a winery in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. I would love to get you a bottle of wine. I would love to have you have a locally sourced wine and see what you think of it.
I've tasted some, and they're pretty good. It's so hard with the extreme weather conditions they have here.
Yeah.
You could not do what you do in the Napa Valley with extreme weather conditions. Any kind of extreme weather just screws up the crop quality all around the Napa Valley. Only 0.3% of the Earth's surface has the same atmosphere that the Napa Valley has.
Yeah,
so they're very fortunate.
Yeah, we fight those problems all the time, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's a
Good
great.
for you. So am I. Yeah.
Dick, thank you so much. Continued great health. You look like $1 million, and we'll talk to you again, okay?
All right. Go Birds.
There he is, Dick Vermeil, the great Dick Vermeil, laying it out for the people.
You know, I had a bottle of your wine last night.
Oh, that's right, Ray.
Very good.
Ray had opened up a bottle of No Cellar last night. I saw that.
Very good.
You tweeted it out.
I did. It was
a
very,
nice
very
little
good.
sip. Did you enjoy that with company?
No, I enjoyed that with the Sixers game and the new book. That was about all I enjoyed
the
it
book
with.
going, sipping a bottle of No Cellar from the Tally Vineyards.
Made myself a little gnocchi. It was all good.
Now look at you.
Yeah, it was a nice night.
Like a gentleman last night.
Yeah.
Having a little No Cellar.
Yeah, trying to grow up in 2025. We'll
Very nice. Look at that. Ray's becoming a wine connoisseur. All right, here's how you get in. Bill is in the chat room. Can you believe this?
No,
my man is waiting at the waiting room of a delivery of a child, and he's in the chat. Even today, he can't leave the chat alone on our YouTube chat.
No, he can't leave the chat alone. He has said that he was checking in, one, for the audio quality, which love that there's his first concern with us, the audio quality, and then he was checking in to see if you had angered me yet this show.
Yeah, I angered you yesterday. Well, how did I anger you?
Yesterday?
No, 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah, we had the temple
it was 2
conversation.
days ago? Oh, I anger you every day?
No, I don't think you anger me every day.
Every other day?
That's what Bill said. You're putting Bill's words in my mouth here. I didn't say anything.
610-622-0975. Lots of Sixers texts. We'll get to them. And I'd love to discuss this with you. I mean, seriously, I got a hole in my stomach thinking about this Sixer season. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now, a Birds Insider Update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:44, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic live at the Philly Auto Show. Get some people coming in now. You know? You got some workers taking photos.
I mean, again, it's the Corvette. It's a beautiful car.
The Corvette is really intoxicating to a lot of people.
Especially, I mean, for me right here, I've been looking at it for this entire show.
You like that low ride of the Corvette?
Yeah, I do. I like the low leverage on the. I'm more of a low leverage guy.
You're a low leverage guy. See, most cars you stand up high now. I mean, you sit up high.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. Honestly, just being on the lower side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's. We got a lot of texts from the text board today. Unfortunately, the announcement is going like.
We're on break. How many times an hour? And
really, I hope this doesn't continue here when they're going to make these announcements on the loudspeaker because it kind of drowns us out here. But let's get back to the text board. Sean Robin is back there. And then we're going to get to the YouTube chat, see what Bill's saying, as Ray's been monitoring that. So, Sean, what do we have? We have Eagles and Sixers texts.
Yes, we do. I'll start with the Sixers one first. The Joel era is over. The team must find a way to move on from him, and it's safe to say Daryl Morey must be fired at the end of the season or during the season.
Okay. I don't know what he can do at this point. I guess Embiid does have a market, but with the price tag, he doesn't have a market. And like what team would be able to fit him in and trade away enough salary back? I don't know if it's even feasible. All right, what else we have?
Well, on the Eagles, we have no name on this texter. I really can't stand Philly fans. Make up our minds. Do we want turnover Jalen or conservative Jalen? Do we want laid back, not a leader Jalen or cocky Jalen? Let the boy be him. That's all. Go Birds.
I think we want it all because we see other teams that have it all. So when we look at Jalen Hurts, I think if he had better passing numbers, we wouldn't care what he says. Right? I think the majority of people, because there's been such a focus on what the Eagles don't do at the quarterback position in comparison to what other great quarterbacks do, I think that's what holds national analysts and former players, that's what holds them back.
Yeah, I mean, I think we see enough bashing of Hurts for the people that don't like him that they're like, yeah, I've got enough ammunition to go after the guy. And then you listen to him speak, and if you don't like him on the field, you're not like, he's not a warm opening personality that like, you know what, on the field he drives me nuts, but off the field, like, I just love the way he speaks. No, you might love him for what he does off the field, what, things he does, but in terms of listening to him speak and personality, he's not one of those that's like, oh yeah, warm, inviting.
He's not going to charm you. But again, like, I don't have any problem with him whatsoever. Like, I normally, I pick on something. I can't, like, just because his passing numbers aren't great, to me, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I think the team overall is good enough to actually win something with him playing the way he plays because of all they're about. And I think when he needs to make a throw, I've seen it time after time, where he'll make a throw, he'll make a big play, he'll make a running play that pulls him out of something. I don't think that's given enough attention. So I've got absolutely no problem with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback of the Eagles.
No, I don't. Like, I really don't understand why so many people do. I get it needs to be, sexy passing numbers, and this is a passing league and all these things. But truthfully, you watch the rest of this season when they've needed to throw the ball, when they need to get a pass late in the game, makes it.
It's when people say, well, no team has ever won a Super Bowl with a passer who has these kind of numbers. I go, but that's not really an accurate statistic, because you would have to put in all the other elements that make the Eagles good to dilute that particular statistic. And I don't think people do. You just can't look at a number and say, okay, well, this team won because this quarterback did X. Well, that team also didn't do Z and W that the Eagles do.
Someone on Twitter, I think yesterday, pointed out in the Super Bowl that the Chiefs beat the Eagles in. How much did Mahomes throw for? 182.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's a great quarterback. He did a lot to help him come back, yada, yada, yada. 182 passing yards. Like, we look at these games with Hurts, like, wow, he's threw for 100 fill-in-the-blank yards. Is the passing game enough? Well, the offense did enough with the running back that they have, and defensively, they're crushing teams. Yeah. The physicality of this team is just beating. I mean, the Packers, half of them went back in that game wrapped up. Like, they were beaten to crap in that game.
All right, let's get back, and we have a break coming up. But I want to introduce this concept that we kind of started with, which is if you can project ahead, and the Eagles do not beat the Lions in the NFC title game, or they don't win the Super Bowl, what would be your level of devastation? Right? What would be your level? Right? If the number is from 1 to 10. What would be your level of devastation if they lose to Detroit or they lose to the Ravens or the Chiefs or the Bills?
I'll probably be somewhere near a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be at a 5. I'd be at a 5. Where would everybody else be? I don't know. I'm just realistic about this. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Bradford White. When you need a water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. The Eagles host the Rams on Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here is his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Mailata, and Josh Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Sixers fall to the Knicks in overtime last night. Sixers have now lost 4 in a row. The Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pregame starts at 7. This update is also brought to you by Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell, a domestic litigation firm, is a partner you can count on. Call 866-323-7529 or visit CordellCordell.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel. Mike Missanelli with Bill Colarulo and the young Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:56, Mike Missanelli Show in Philadelphia on Sunday. High of 35, snow.
Love it.
Now, a lot of people, I was reading, wow, the Rams, cold weather, blah, 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 but it's going to be mild. And I don't know where they got the weather report. They said it's going to be 40 degrees, which is not going to be 40 degrees. It's going to be a high of 35 with snow, 80% chance of snow. Now, to that end, I found a statistic which is fairly interesting here. Let's see. Here it is. Matthew Stafford. Outdoors in the rain or snow. 1-8 record, 54.6 completion percentage, 14 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, and a 76.0 passer rating.
Matthew Stafford in the snow against the Eagles with a superstar running back. Have I seen this script before? Have I seen that one before?
Well,
remind me.
Yes. Snow. Oh, my God. If that doesn't favor the Eagle, I don't know what does. They run the ball anyway. They're running the snow. Come on.
That's the best way this week possibly ends. An entire week of can they pass the football? Well, we can't find out because it snows and Saquon runs for 200.
I mean, is this going to change the line? They're already a healthy line. What is it? Is the line currently 5.5, or did it move up to 6? I guarantee you that as the snow is forecast, that line goes up.
It has to.
In the Eagles' favor.
I saw 6 yesterday on the trusty ESPN Bet Sportsbook. As I wait for it to load right now, I can only imagine we're at 6.5. I'll be shocked if it's not. 6.5, that's where we're at.
6.5 right now. That's going up to 7.5 if there's a 75% chance of snow. Mine says 80% chance, so I don't know.
Minus 275 on the money line.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so, come on. Yeah, they can't possibly lose this game. And we're like, I'm already thinking about Detroit. Don't jinx it, Mike. Mike, don't jinx it.
Mikey Mush.
Yeah, Mikey Mush. Don't jinx it.
How do you not have eyes that way, though? Like, honestly. Like, I'm curious for that fan out there that's like, I take it one game like they're in that locker room. Like, Sirianni says take it one game at a time, so I take it one game at a time.
You can't take this one game at a time because the mission is, can this team actually win the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't understand that fan's mindset of one game at a time because you have no responsibility other than watching and cheering. That's it. It's not your job to go out there and play. It's not, I'm a little too distracted with the Lions matchup. Let me focus on the Rams. You should have wandering eyes. This team's good enough for you to have wandering eyes. If this team was the Rams, I wouldn't be talking about playing the Lions. This is the Eagles. They're favored by almost a touchdown in this game. You should have wandering eyes to where this team can go and talk about what the potential of this team's run can be.
Exactly. All right, so you're listening to Mike Missanelli Show live at the Philly Auto Show and WPEN and WPEN HD, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, and we're broadcasting live from the Auto Show today. Normally it's the Comcast Business Studio powering possibilities, but we're at the Auto Show today. Have you noticed that now they're starting to activate the lights on the cars? Did you know that every one of these cars, how many cars do you think are in here?
200.
There's got to be more than that. There's got to be like 1,000 cars in here.
I'm trying to do that.
Every one of these cars, underneath it, has a battery pack charger. Notice this?
No, I did not notice this.
Yes.
Look at that.
Every one of these, and it's plugged in. There must be electrical sockets on the floor that they're plugged into. Every car has a battery pack charger. Now, I have to use those battery pack chargers because I have a 1980 Fiat Spider convertible that I've had my whole life.
Did not know this about you.
Yes. And so I have it preserved. I rarely take it out. But I have to use what's called they say, we buy this thing called a trickler.
A trickler?
Yeah. And the trickler doesn't, it's supposed to maintain the battery with a trickle. But it never works for me.
So who we got to take it to? Is there someone here that might know?
I need to, ask somebody.
It's just open.
It's a little gadget that you plug in, and it hooks onto the battery cables, and it's supposed to maintain the charge of the battery when you're not using it. I need some advice on this because it doesn't work for me. And so normally I have to get this other charger and start it. But who's starting? Like, it's in my garage in the wintertime. Like, I don't feel like starting it, right? But you got to start it, and then you got to run the car, and you got to take it out for a spin and recharge the battery and the whole thing. It's a nuisance.
It does sound like a nuisance.
Somebody help me out. What do I need?
I mean, you have been quizzing me on cars this entire show. You know I am the last person in the world you should ask on how this should work. But there's, I assume, someone within the four walls here that has an idea of what to do.
Well, I need one of these things.
Yeah, so,
like these things, it looks like a box that's underneath these cars that's providing the necessary power to keep that battery charged as these cars sit idle for several days, and then they put the headlights on them.
You know, they've got us here. You would think, I think in our industry it's called like a trade deal. Like with us being here broadcasting, I feel like you should be able to walk home with one.
We're gonna have this guy from the auto show, Mike Gemp. He's coming on. He's the director of this auto show. You think it would be possible if he could hook me up in one of these power boxes?
I don't think it's just possible. I think he should.
All right, look, I'm looking at the trickler. Okay, the trickler. Oh, it doesn't bring it up. But it's called the trickler, I think. Somebody would know out there. I need some help from people. You're a motorhead out there. What system can I employ that's better that will keep my battery on my Fiat charged while it's in a cold garage through the whole winter?
When we get that answer,
help,
we'll chime in. I'm looking at the YouTube chat for you right now.
All right. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time with Ray Dunn and the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, let's get this thing going with the news at noon.
Let's get this thing going.
All right, I'm going to play a podcast for you that we'd never play on the news at noon. I think it's only happened once. No.
Well, what's the podcast?
New Heights.
What is that?
The Kelsey brothers. Have you heard of them?
Oh, that podcast.
Yeah, remember Jason Kelsey used to play for the Eagles.
It's very obscure, that podcast.
Yeah, you never see him anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they actually got a big-time guest.
Okay.
LeBron James joined the show.
Get out.
And they asked him.
How did they get LeBron?
Remember LeBron tweeted at them? They tweeted like, yo, what you guys are doing is so great. It took like, I think, a year to get him on.
I've been trying to get LeBron.
Maybe we're next.
So I've been trying to get LeBron for 20 years.
The LeBron Media Tour goes New Heights, then the Mike Missanelli Show.
Yeah,
that's what's next for him.
All
right. They asked him about the infamous pickup game, where there's no video of it, but apparently him and Michael Jordan were on the floor at the same time when LeBron was 16. Here's LeBron talking about that game.
There's a story about you playing in an infamous pickup game with Michael Jordan when you were 16 years old. What was it like? Is that true? Like, can you tell us how you played?
First of all, MJ, Antoine Walker, and the rest of those guys did not let young guys get on the court at all. And I was 16 years old. I was sophomore in high school. And it takes a while to get on the court. But I did. I was on the court with Michael Jordan, Antoine Walker, Penny Hardaway.
Legend.
Ron Artest, Michael Finley, all these guys.
Who guarded you?
Nobody. I was unguardable. When I finally got out there, I was like, I'm busting, man. I was nervous. I was nervous as hell, being out there with MJ and the rest of those guys. But
Are you kidding me?
I was like, oh, I'm about to go crazy, and I did. I did, man. I did.
Wow.
How much you buy it?
He said he busted ass. I can't imagine Jordan would let him do that.
No.
Like Michael Jordan would put him on his ass. Is basically what things I hear. I don't know. Who knows?
Trying to think age-wise. LeBron at 16. What version of Michael Jordan is he getting? And
that's a good question. Was he older?
He was older at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because LeBron gets into the league at what, 04, and Jordan was done by like 02.
He couldn't have been in his prime.
Yeah, so that was like Wizards MJ he got.
All right. Well, then that's possible. He could have bought him. Even LeBron was a prodigy, man. At 16, he could soar.
I'm just wondering, how does no one have any video?
It's true. Well, maybe that was before the video age too.
Do you think Jordan burned the tapes?
Well, what kind of tapes could we're talking 24 years ago?
Getting runs in where LeBron, the prodigy's coming where Jordan is?
There weren't phone videos 24 years ago, were there?
Somebody's got the old school, I'm sure. Somebody's
the
got the
old
little
school
video
cam?
camera going.
Nah, man, they wouldn't allow cams in there.
Oh,
Those guys would have shut that down, man.
That's
Now
so
get
lame.
out. Get your ass out of here.
That's so
You're not
lame.
filming us.
That's so lame.
Where was this pickup game that he would have had access to it? Would they come to Cleveland or something? Like, where was this could have been?
I'm not sure where exactly it was, but I just can't imagine. They get LeBron, your prodigy, in the same place as Michael Jordan. No one has any evidence of it.
I believe there's no evidence of it.
I think it was destroyed.
And I'm not like LeBron's saying that. He puts himself up the risk that Jordan comes out and says, "Nah, it didn't happen, man. He's lying."
I'm sure someone's going to find Jordan at some fishing event and ask him.
Yeah, I guess. All right, next.
Moving from the old school to the new school. This is something we talked about quite a bit already today. Load management. Adam Silver on with Colin Cowherd talking about, hey, we're going to figure this out. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not.
All I can say is we've worked with our teams. We're working a lot on the science. I think, incidentally, you don't hear load management so much around the league anymore because I think we've dispelled that notion that it's somehow through some analytics or a computer program that on November 12th, you can make a decision that a player should sit out on December 20th, which is what was going on in the league. And in fact, my understanding, at least of the data that's come in so far, it may even be the case that some of the early season injuries are caused by players not having enough load.
This guy's got a problem, and he doesn't know how to solve it with this whole thing because he's given the league over to the players. They don't own the league anymore. The players own the league. They do what they want, and if you can't buck up against them. There's nobody alive now that can buck up against players who are the star players who are making $60 million a year. You can't legislate that at all for forever and a day. It's over now. You've given ownership of the league to players.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a guy that's got any answers.
And if they say, I got a little tweak here, the trainer or the medical staff's not going to say, no, you don't have a little tweak.
Right.
You got to play. So it's their world.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like playing on a particular night, they're not going to play on that night. No. And all they have to do is give a little, how you feeling? How you feeling, Paul, PG? All right, you're sitting. That's the way it works. All right.
Knee swelling. All right, last one for you. Keeping it with basketball here. I don't know if you've seen this weird Brandon Jennings tirade against Jason Tatum. I'm not sure where it came from. But of course, Gilbert Arenas was on a live stream with Brandon Jennings as they're watching a game that's not a Celtics game. I believe it was a Lakers game. Mm-hmm. And there was a streamer that had a Jason Tatum jersey in the background. And Brandon Jennings went off, of course, because he's upset that there's someone that's giving any love to Jason Tatum. Gilbert Arenas gives you the reason that he believes Brandon Jennings does not like Jason Tatum. Take a listen.
Hey, yo, you need to take down that number 0 jersey until you get a Finals MVP.
Why can't he be out there? He won a championship, though, bro.
Go put that in the closet until you get a Finals MVP. Go put that in the closet.
What is your problem with Tatum? Like, what did he do?
Huh?
What did Tatum do to you?
He dating the girl he wanted. No.
He's dating a girl he wanted is why Gilbert Arenas believes that Brandon Jennings doesn't like Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think that they just they're looking for reasons why Brandon. There's got to be something there.
There has to be.
Yeah.
Something deep.
Yeah. And Tatum seems to be bothered by it, too.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
It's Brandon Jennings, man. It's not like a legend of the league that's calling you out. It's Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's news on the internet. I just have awoken to the fact that the auto show just opened their doors.
Yeah. That was what all the announcements were for.
Oh, okay. They opened their doors at noon, it looks like, because a flood of Bay people have come in. Look at how many people are around that Corvette.
I know, man. They're touching my car.
It's unbelievable. It is magic, this Corvette, the way it attracts people. All right, let's take a break. 610-632-0975. Open lines. I want to talk about this level of devastation. If the Eagles don't get to the big prize, are you going to be devastated? I'm saying I won't be.
Oh, I will.
Mike Missanelli Show continues.
it to the best show ever. Now, Mike Missanelli, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, 12:14, we're at the Philly Auto Show, man. A lot of people are here already. It's awesome. Good Lord, people have poured into this place to look at all these fine cars at the auto show. And I'm asking some auto questions to Ray in the audience. And I just mentioned, I see the Fiat. See the Fiat thing? Yep. The Fiat's still making cars. So my Fiat Spider convertibles in 1980 was the first year that fuel injection actually came into play with those cars. But guess what else? There's nothing else that's a modern day convenience in that car. Like, it still has the crank window. I have to put my convertible top. I have to raise it myself and latch it. It doesn't have power steering. It's a 5-speed, first of all, the transmission. So I love the fact that it's a stick shift. But when you're used to car, like, to go back to that car after I've driven in a power car, it's like, oh my God, you get
time
lost.
Travel.
Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable. Like, this is how people used to do it. They used to crank their windows up.
Which is where the expression comes from, where people my age have no idea. Roll the window.
Oh, roll the window.
I don't think there's a lot of my generation that has no idea what roll the windows down really means.
Yeah, it's got a horrible windshield wiper system where you go, and it goes.
Not clearing anything
It's
off.
unbelievable. I mean, that was my main car for a lot of my life.
Really?
Yes.
For like how long?
I got that car in 1980. I bought it off a friend of mine who bought it new. He didn't like it, so he sold it to me at 5,000 miles on it, and I've had it ever since.
Wow. That's crazy.
It handles like a dream. It's like when you get that 5-speed, it still's got the good pep. And I found a guy from my buddy Joe, who lives in my neighborhood, is an Italian immigrant who was transferred here from the Fiat company when they were selling cars in North America. So he knows the car like inside and out.
Oh, my God.
And I can drive it over his house. He takes it into his garage whenever I got so fortunate with this car. It's the reason why I still have it.
Does he have a battery answer, like, for you?
No, well, yeah, he had the trickler. What's the battery answer?
That's his answer. So we need a real answer for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir, can I help you? Yes, please. Yeah, we happen to be on the air right now. So I can't help you? But did you have a question?
Yeah.
What?
Mike
I am Mike Missanelli, yes.
I enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
There you go, live on the air. The Mikey Miss Show. This is a live Q&A.
It's all right. Some people don't realize that we're actually doing a show.
The Mike Missanelli exhibit, actually, is what it is.
I used to do a show in Atlantic City, right? And so we did it in front of Caesars Hotel Casino and a table. Like we're like at the entrance.
Oh.
So people would come over, and like older lady who just came off a bus, and she would go, "Do you know where the slots are? Do you know where the slot to the cash in, the cash?" And I go, no, ma'am, listen, we're live on the radio.
Ma'am, if you could ask your question to this microphone, that'd be great.
We don't actually work here for the casino. Oh, that's hysterical. Let's get back to
security.
We got some we have some battery texts from me. So we have some people trying to help me out here. I'm telling you, I was advised to buy this thing called the Trickler. So what did the text say, Sean?
Yeah, a lot of people are actually telling you to buy the Trickler. The Bristol, or Brian from Bristol, says get the trickle charge, and the best one out there is NOCO, N-O-C-O.
I got it. I got the NOCO. Plus, I had the NOCO charger. But the Trickler, for some reason, is not working for me on a consistent basis.
I can't wait till we get the director of the auto show here.
Really? I have the NOCO Trickler. Exactly what I have. What else are they telling me to do?
One other person checking in says top post battery disconnect, switch 12-volt to 24-volt battery, shut off switch quick disconnect, master battery, isolator battery, power cutoff switch.
What the hell are you even talking about? I'm lost already.
Are you reading a manual?
I think so. I think someone copy and pasted a manual. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm with Ray with my car knowledge.
Yeah, I actually have the battery charger, the NOCO power charger, which you put it on when you need to start it. But the Trickler is supposed to maintain the battery with a small amount of charge, because if you overcharge it, you're destroying the battery. So you have to have this little trickle charge. But the trickle charge has not been enough for me to keep starting the car. So I'm lost.
Again, we got the director coming up. I think we're going.
Noco,
right
I got it up now. The Noco.
Yeah, he's got it.
But genius multi-purpose battery chargers. Here's the trickler, right? You see the trickler?
Yeah, I see it.
That's the trickler.
Yep, I see the trickler.
I got it.
You're looking at the
it's not working for me. You got to help me out. I need one of those power chargers that are under every one of these cars.
Yeah, please.
All right, let's go back to the text board with the Eagles and Sixers text. Sean, what we got?
Yeah, so we'll go to the Sixers. One person checking in, Tom from Wynwood. He says Morey will have a press conference and pull out the Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Sixers will go to win the championship.
What?
Yeah, nope. Don't agree with that one.
Well, did he actually say the Sixers are going to win a championship?
Was
that Sixers or Eagles he was saying?
I'm reading Sixers.
Well, read it again to me.
Morey will have a press conference and pull out the Aaron Rodgers, RELAX, relax. Sixers will go on to win the championship. This is Tom from Wynwood.
Tom, I got to be honest with you. You see, you're like my neighbor from Wynwood, right? I got to meet up with you for coffee. You got to explain to me how on earth could you possibly see this team winning a championship in 7 games?
Tom's about 5 Mad Elves into the day.
Winning 4 games against either the Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers or the New York Knicks, to say nothing of the other conference. How's that possible?
Again, he's a couple Mad Elves into the day. He has to be, Tom.
All right. All right, so we got some news on Kellen Moore. He's going to meet with the Cowboys on Friday. That's tomorrow. No, that's today.
That's tomorrow. We still got one more.
Oh, it's today, Thursday?
Yeah, today's Thursday. You'll see me tomorrow, Mike. Don't you worry.
All right, we have a break coming up?
Yeah, we got a break right here.
All right, did you have anything that Bill's saying on the chat?
Bill, I think, might have been called into duty because I haven't seen Bill in here in a while.
What was his last chat?
His last chat, scrolling up here, might have been his, hey, he's checking in concerned about us. And then everyone was talking about how Bill's about to have a baby and he's more concerned about how I'm doing. And I think that's...
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill's, he's a very concerning man. He's probably nervous. He's walking around. So wait a minute. Is he in the room with his wife, or is his wife taken away and they're going to call him when?
We haven't heard from him. I'll check in with him. We'll get that on the other side of the break, too.
All right. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show at the very busy Philadelphia Auto Show right now with about 100 people waiting to sit into a Corvette.
My Corvette.
Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bo and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. The Eagles host the Rams on Sunday, and some people are a little concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here is his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. We're talking about playoff football.
Barkley, Brown, Juergens, Mailata, and Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Sixers fall to the Knicks yesterday in overtime. They have now lost 4 in a row. Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pregame starts at 7. This update is also brought to you by Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269 will be accepting applications starting January 1st until March 31st at IBEW269.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Guess who's back?
1228 on the Mike Missanelli Show, live at the Philadelphia Auto Show. We're fortunate to have the director of the Philadelphia Auto Show right now, Mike Gemp, with us. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We've got an auto show open. We got a lot of people coming in on a Thursday afternoon, so we're doing great.
It's pretty amazing. As soon as the doors opened, people flooded in here. I mean, I got to imagine this is an incredibly involved production that you guys have to plan for a really long time. How difficult is it for you guys to pull this off?
No, it is. It's funny because when people ask what I do, they're like, well, what do you do the rest of the year? And I'm like, if it looks that good when you walk into the show floor, I'm doing something right. But it is. It is a lot of people, a very talented staff. That puts a lot of time. The dealers get behind it. The manufacturers get behind it to make it what it is.
All right, do you put a schedule out there to get all these cars? Like, you've got all models and all makes and all companies. What's the schedule to get all these cars in and parked in the perfect spots?
Yeah, believe it or not, on Monday before we opened for our black tie on Friday, this was still nothing but a concrete floor. So within Monday to Thursday, you get over 600 vehicles on the floor. We carpet everything. All the electric goes down. The displays get built. Camp Jeep hill goes up. The water barriers come in for the E-Track. It's amazing watching the teams, the unions here, the convention center, and all the workers bring it together. It's literally 4 days of like building a 600,000 square foot home.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. I can't imagine how you guys put this together. But you also have added so many more interactive things. Like that Camp Jeep's in here for a while, but you got a track over here, and you got an electric vehicle thing. Like these new ideas, I guess you have to keep up with the times here with this.
Well, yeah, I mean, people want to get behind the wheel of the car, so even outside, Toyota offers you can you can literally drive a Tundra, their Crown Signia, a Highlander. Inside, like you mentioned, we got an 18-foot Camp Jeep hill where you can ride along, and they'll take you over different obstacles to show you what an off-road vehicle Jeep is. And then you mentioned our E-Track. It's the biggest one we've ever had. 17 different vehicles on there from 7 different manufacturers. The Chevy Silverado's been a big hit. Escalade IQ. Tesla's here with the Cybertruck. The ID Buzz never stops moving. It's like the old retro van that used to have it, like a gasoline-powered lawnmower engine, and it now goes 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds.
What is America's fascination with cars? Can you put that succinctly?
I think about how much your lifestyle depends on your vehicle and your motor transportation, right? And moving your family around, what it is. We got the Z06 in front of us. It's everything from a car that takes you to the beach for the weekend to a car that takes you out on the weekend with your buddies, and you're all enthusiasts and you want to go fast and go.
You're talking about the Corvette here.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of us, where people is that the most magic car that people want to see in the experience when they gravitate to this thing? What is it about that?
Well, a lot of times you can't sit in a vehicle of that caliber, right? And we have a Z06 Corvette staring at us with its lights on. It's actually drawing us in right now. Over 600 horsepower, price tag over $100,000, and people can sit behind the wheel of it. And that's a really cool experience for people to be able to see. It's an aspiration vehicle for a lot of people, but a lot of people are going to make their decision on whether they're going to get that or something else in that price range.
Were you involved with a particular brand or car dealership before you gravitated to this lofty management position for this whole show?
No, I came right out of college into auto shows.
Really?
I did. I was in a production company out of Harrisburg, and for 5 years I traveled all over the place. In Philly, I've been working here at the association since 2000. So I love it. I get to work with all the different dealers, all the different personalities of all the different dealerships. Some of the best people I've ever worked for in my entire career. Philanthropic, great family people. I'm very blessed.
When this show is over, do you start right away with planning the next show?
We actually just had a board meeting here yesterday, and we will start planning for the next year's show literally within a month of leaving this one behind and wrapping it all up.
All right, maybe you can help me here, because I was just telling the story. I have a Fiat Spider convertible, 1980. That I preserved, and I keep it in my garage, and I've had a really difficult time keeping that battery charged. And people say, well, you got to buy the no-code trickle thing. I did that, and that doesn't seem to keep the battery going. And I see you have these power packs under every one of these cars, which would be perfect for me. Can you give me one of these power packs? Or how else would I keep that battery charged?
Yeah, that's exactly what we have. We bought a bunch of them because we're starting to help build the dealer displays for some of these guys, and we put a 55-amp power converter on there, and you can actually set it up to your point. They're actually intended for exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You put them on at home, and it just does a trickle charge.
Yeah.
A lot of people leave their cars they'll go down to Florida, right, and leave their car for the winter. They'll leave it on a power pack just with a trickle supply. That's exactly.
I need
what
one of those power packs. I'm asking you, can you pull some strings to get me one of these power packs?
Oh, I have a power pack here in 5 minutes for you.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Look at that. There's perks to being here at the Auto Show. Mike Gemp, director of the Philadelphia Auto Show. Mike, thanks so much, man. This is a lot of fun to stroll around and watch all these cars. And everybody, every year, is fascinated by this whole thing. You do a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I know there's a big game this Sunday, but we're open through Monday, so we're going to be open through Martin Luther King. So still a lot of days left to get down here.
Awesome. You got a prediction on Sunday's game?
Oh, it's going to be Eagles by, I'd say, 10.
Really?
The Rams?
Mike Gemp is advising all you bettors out there to take the Eagles and give the points. Is that what you're saying?
What's the spread? I haven't even looked.
The spread's 6.5.
6.5? I would take the Eagles on that one.
Taking the Eagles to cover.
Where are you? Am I on the wrong side of that one?
No, I don't know. 5.5 of the 6.5 tells me Eagles. 5.5 is an iffy number. I would have gone Rams there, but 6.5, I think, and it's going to snow Sunday. Yeah, the Rams have no chance.
Yeah, no. Were you hoping for the Rams or the Vikings?
I was hoping for the Rams. I thought the Vikings would be a tough route, but the way that game transpired, now I was probably on the wrong side. The Rams are much better than the Vikings at this point, so it's going to be a challenge for them. But I think they'll outlast them.
I agree. I totally agree.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks again.
All right, there he goes. That's Mike Gemp, the director of the Philly Auto Show, which is an unbelievable production here. And you get down here and you see all the organization and the people that work this thing and getting these cars in and setting up the tracks. It's just phenomenal. And we're glad to be here today. So let's get back to the phones. We got a lot of people holding, and Anthony's going to join us because he's sick of the Hertz haters. Anthony, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Mike, I got to take you off speakerphone there, guy. Love the show, but
thanks, pal.
I got you off speaker. Sorry, I had a bad connection earlier. Hey, man, this Hertz hate really hurts my brain. I'm so sick of it. I've been dealing with it all week. Not having the best of luck this week either, but it just piles and piles. What were his passing stats last year, Mike? Can you tell me how many touchdowns and how many yards he had? And he missed 2 games.
Who, Jalen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have his numbers up right now, but look, let's be realistic about this. The people that look at the numbers look at their ranking. Passing-wise, and as a team, their ranking is way low, like 28th in the league or whatever. And so people are going, can a team with that low in a passing league, a team with that low of a rating, actually win a Super Bowl? So that's a legitimate question. I think yes, because I don't think that factors in the other things that the Eagles do really well. But it's a legitimate question, don't you think?
I can answer the question right now for all those.
Okay. I can't hear him. Did we lose him? Where?
He's still there.
Oh, hello.
What?
Anthony,
yes, hello?
I can hardly hear you. Go ahead.
I'm here. You're losing me because it's not my fault. Hey,
okay.
Listen, last year he had almost 4,000 yards passing. Now he had more interceptions because Miles Sanders is not Saquon Barkley. That's why Howie Roseman went and picked up Saquon Barkley, because he knew Jalen wouldn't have to put the ball in harm's way. But he still had 4,000 yards passing almost. And 32 touchdowns, I believe. I can't remember offhand, but it was something like that. Now, the year before, he had almost 4,000 yards passing. And he still didn't have, a great running back.
Yeah.
And he didn't, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I'm just saying the counter argument is there's really not a lot of evidence for teams that don't pass the ball well to win. And the last team that did it, and Bill points it out in his text today, even though he's not here, he did text out the comparison is the Seattle Seahawks and the Legion of Boom team, which was lower ranked as a passing team, but they had all the other things going for them.
Okay, I'm just saying that he's a winner, and he will throw probably a bunch of yards next week, and A.J. Brown's going to get his next week. He's going to get his targets. Because just like last time he didn't get his targets, they forced it to him, didn't they?
Yeah, well, thank you for the call. If he doesn't get his targets, you can guarantee he's going to be digging deep into that book.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So,
For
Ray,
sure,
you're
yeah.
digging. Ray's been reading Inner Excellence. So, Ray, have you been able to yellow highlight some of the passages that may help us finish this show today?
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
help the Eagles or A.J. Brown to be very efficient on Sunday?
Yeah, I think coming up we should look at the affluenza virus and how you can really use that to look at what's important in life and take stock of what really matters.
It's the what now? What's it called?
The affluenza virus.
The affluenza virus.
Yes. Not the influenza.
Oh, what is the affluenza virus? What does that mean exactly?
Oh, I think the people coming up will be very intrigued as to the 5 things that people become obsessed with that aren't actually what you should be focusing on in life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to dig into that.
Yeah.
On the other side. Here's how you get in, 610-622-0975. This hour is brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. What are the chances I get this power pack that this Mike Gemp was talking about?
I think pretty good.
You think it's
I
good?
believe him.
You say you're going to have one here in 5 minutes?
Right, well.
So we're 4 minutes in.
Mike.
All right.
Mike.
Well, I'm waiting for it. Mike Missanelli Show continues right here at 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitale. Fanatic.com. Mike Missanelli with Bill Colarulo and the young Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it's 12:42. Mike Missanelli Show live at the auto show where thousands of people are milling around like a little matinee action here on a Thursday at the Philly Auto Show. All these great shiny cars going around. Man, we're in heaven.
We are.
You know, it's funny. Women are car people too, but men just like lose their mind with cars.
Yeah,
that's such a man thing like that. I got a buddy who's like he can't wait to buy his next newfangled car. He's got like 4 cars. Like, what do you do with 4 cars? I don't know. I like them. I like cars.
It's the picture too for the man.
Yeah.
It's all men getting inside of these cars having the picture taken.
Yeah, well, and you frown on that.
That's not. I don't frown. You do what you want to do, but I wouldn't do it.
Could I take a picture of you in that Corvette when like the line dissipates?
I admire the car.
So you wouldn't. Here's your theory. You don't like to take a picture in a fancy car because it reminds you that you might not be able to own that kind of car?
It probably.
Yeah, but look at you, Ray. You're on a rocket ship to stardom. So it's like you look at that Corvette, you go, yeah, within 10 years I'll have that car.
Hey man, if you think I'm gonna have that in 10 years,
I'll be
business.
I'll be Joe Buck in 15 years. I'll laugh at cars like that.
You think Joe Buck drives a nice car?
Yes, I think Joe Buck is pretentious enough to drive a nice car. Yes, I do. All right, let's get back into the book, which is called what is it, Inner Excellence?
Inner Excellence
by Joe Murphy, which is it's caught fire throughout the nation because A.J. Brown was reading on the sideline last week. So you're about to reveal to us, what is it?
The affluenza virus.
Affluenza virus.
This is from the first chapter.
5 things that what?
It's the 5 things that can steal your soul. I'll read from this little...
5 things that can steal your soul.
Yeah, so the affluenza virus begins with a quote. The true worth of a man is measured by the objects he pursues.
Ooh. The true worth of a man is determined by the objects he pursues?
Yes.
So if you pursue a fancy Corvette for like $100,000, that's no good?
Apparently, according to this. So to chisel away what's not you is difficult. It's easy to get sidetracked, seduced by the facade of what looks like your true dream. Western culture exposes us daily to the affluenza virus. In parentheses, the most dangerous type of virus, one that can steal your soul. This virus idolizes 5 things. Possessions, achievements, looks, in parentheses, physical appearance, money, and status. At first, when I looked at this passage, I thought it said stats. I thought it was going to tell me that he should not be pursuing stats. But status is the 5th one there.
What, did A.J. Brown not read this chapter? Like, you don't think that he loves the affluence part of that?
Listen, I'm just continuing on with what he's reading right now.
All right, go ahead.
Merriam-Webster defines palms, which is those 5 things, possessions, achievements, looks, money, and status, as symbols of triumph or superiority. These 5 symbols of success can steal your true dreams by getting you to focus on them instead of what's truly meaningful, empowering, and permanent. The affluenza's virus injects you with a constant desire to gain more and compare yourself with others, and it's never satisfied. This phenomenon divides your heart and distances you from your true self.
All right, let me just put this in perspective here, because this Joe Murphy guy is now on top of the world, and his book leads sales, which means he's finally making money. He wrote this book in 2008? Somewhere back then. And he said, I read the story, he spent millions trying to develop this brand, and the book really didn't sell that well. So now that he's on top of the world with the book, he has now stepped into the pot of success, and all the things that he is saying can corrupt you.
Correct. So you're saying we're going to learn more about the man post A.J. Brown.
Right. So if this book now becomes lucrative for him, how does he now write his next chapter?
How does he write? That's a good question. I don't know how he's going to go about the next chapter of this. I'm very interested.
It's easy to write a book like that when you don't have
I could write
the opulence
book like
that you don't live in opulence. You write a book like that, you go, all right, stay humble and then don't fall into the praise of opulence and all that kind of thing. But now that he's stepping into it, what would his view be?
His view would probably be that despite what's happened over the last week, you should not be pursuing these 5 things: the palms, the possessions, the achievements, the looks, the money, the status.
Now, what professional athlete doesn't pursue that?
Apparently, I think this is a nice reminder. Maybe you shouldn't pursue all of those things.
So AJ really didn't want to sign that $100 million contract?
Well, that's exactly it, where it's like, I think this is probably going down the path of, hey, you know, your personal goal could be, hey, I want X amount of receiving yards today. I want to help the team win in this way. But the real goal that you should put above everything else is, hey, they win the game.
This is like a book for people that don't have 3 nickels to rub together. All right.
I'll keep finding some passages
okay,
here.
I need more passage. Give me a passage.
The ego's obsession with outcome. The ego is obsessed with winning and can never have enough. It constantly compares itself with others and is always threatened. It makes you self-conscious because it relies on the external world to validate itself. When you have fancy adornments or status or medals, you can look at them and tell yourself, I am somebody. I've got this. I've done that. You can project yourself into various roles and wear the masks that cover up who you really are.
So, if the Eagles lose to the Rams, AJ, after the game, has to say, no biggie. Basically, that's what that passage said. Don't get obsessed with winning.
Well, outcome, winning. It goes as far to say Dean Smith, who coached Michael Jordan at North Carolina, said it's absolutely necessity for a leader to be able to handle losing. The bigger a person's job, the more losses he or she will have, and the more costly they will be.
You know what the title of this book should have been? Stay a Schlub.
Come on.
Right.
We've read 2 passages. How do you know that?
New title. My book, Stay a Schlub.
Oh, come on. We're going to find something good in here, I'm sure.
All right, let's take a break.
We got
it. Oh, my God. Mike Missanelli show continues after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is presented by Corona. Join Ricky Bo, Tyrone at 97.5's The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Landmark Americana in University City on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. The Eagles host the Rams Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here's his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Mailata, and Josh Sweat did not practice yesterday due to rest. Kellen Moore will interview with the Cowboys tomorrow, according to Jordan Schultz. The Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Pre-game coverage starts at 7. This update is also sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile, from testing their vehicles to creating AI that can anticipate your needs on the road. They demand that every car is worthy of their star, because it's Mercedes-Benz. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Batalico. I think Missanelli, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All righty, it's 12:55 live from a very busy auto show. This is fun to be down here, man, during the day. I didn't realize that many day people came down here.
It's incredible.
I've only been, here during the evening, late afternoon, evening hours where it's really popping. But it's a nice matinee if you have the day off to come down here and hang out. Anyway, 610-622-0975 is how you get in. I texted Bill, and I texted him, and I realized this was probably poorly worded, this text. I said, any news from the front? No, I meant that generally. But now that I look at it, I don't know if that
any other words.
It was probably the wrong message to send him. But he wrote back, slow process. She's starting to feel the contraction strong, so making progress. Well, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, he says he's bouncing off the walls in there.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right.
I can only imagine.
Our best wishes to Bill down there. All right, before we get back to the phones and the text board, which is perking, Ray has been digging into this book. My impression, this guy is a very humble guy who wrote this book, and he's saying don't get trapped by successes, which tells me he's an ex-baseball player. That tells me he couldn't hit. Basically.
Great clubhouse guy.
Basically, he couldn't hit the breaking pitch.
Great clubhouse guy. Type of guy you want on your team.
Right. But anyway, go ahead with the passage.
All right. We're going to read from The Superstar and the Sucker. I was talking to a superstar athlete, top 10 in the world, and he told me he was too attached to the results of his performance. He realized it was causing him to lose focus when he needed it most. How do I not be so attached, he asked. I asked him, can you think of a way to easily take away a lollipop without any resistance from a kid who loves lollipops? There's one easy way, I told him. Give the kid a bigger lollipop in exchange. One of the main problems with athletes, performers, and goal-oriented individuals is that they set their goals too low. They set winning as their highest goal, whether it's an Olympic gold medal, a world championship, or a position as CEO of a major corporation. You might think those are pretty high goals, and they are, but they're too low for inner excellence standards. Those goals are only symbols of what you really want, which is a meaningful, fulfilling life, becoming the person you were created to be. What good is it to win Olympic gold or become CEO and earn $30 million a year if you're filled with anxiety and living in constant fear of losing it? What I help people do is go directly for what they really want. Absolute fullness of life. Out of your control and slim chances of getting it. Seek fullness of life as your highest goal, and you've got an exciting journey ahead of you and a very high chance of getting it. As an added bonus, going for fullness of life as your highest goal also gives you the best shot of getting the gold medal. To pursue the whole candy store, absolute fullness of life is the direct pursuit of self-mastery by pursuing love, leading with your heart, wisdom, expanding your vision, and courage, being fully present as your highest goals.
Oh, I'm sorry, you finished?
Listen, man, we got more to go in that chapter.
No, well, first of all, how does this relate? You put too much emphasis on winning, and not like so. When Jalen Hurts says, "Guys, can we hear that, Sean? Can we hear that? Let's hear Jalen talk about. I think you guys need to understand what I'm about." Quote.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Too much emphasis on winning.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
According to this book.
He should have a higher goal. I guess when he steps out on the field, his goal is to win the game, but in life, his goal should be higher, according to Jim Murphy.
Jalen would counter by saying the only thing that makes me fulfilled and totally happy and peaceful is winning.
So maybe he needs
because that's
the book.
the accomplishment.
Maybe that was the whole rift between him and AJ.
Maybe it is the whole rift between AJ.
He was like, inner excellence, man.
Because life goes on if they don't win for AJ.
Jalen also said he had never seen him reading. Now we're really projecting things upon them.
We're having a little fun here. Don't take this personally. Stop being negative, you guys.
Well, we just had someone filming me reading this. Someone pulled out their phone, was recording me reading. Like, what are they doing at the auto show these days? It's a book club.
All right, it's 1 o'clock, and you're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN HD, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Let's get to Steele to start off the 1 o'clock hour. Our pal Steele joins us. Steele, what's happening?
A Fiat Sport Spider.
What's up, Steele?
Did you hear what I just said?
No, I didn't hear it. It was a roar of the... We got a track that's roaring near us, and so it was hard for me to hear that. Go ahead.
You're at the auto show, not the tractor show.
We are at the auto show, but they got tracks with cars that are racing around here. So
Mikey,
yes.
A Fiat Sport Spider, you hit my youth. Is it
my
red?
Fiat Sport Spider. My Fiat, my Fiat convertible.
Yeah. Is it red?
It is brown. It is a nice bronzy brown with a beige interior.
That's classic. Listen, you hit a nerve because in my youth, I had a sun yellow TR6. And at the auto show, see if Triumph has a display.
Yeah, see, Triumph was a broken... That TR6 would not stand. It was always... There was always problems with it, right? Did you always have problems with it?
Yeah, it leaked and it rusted.
Yeah, because it's a British car.
Yeah.
Now, tell... I don't want to insult the country at all, but like the British, they brag on the Rolls-Royce, which nobody can buy, or the Jaguar, which also nobody can buy, and they wound up selling the Jaguar, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, they did. They did. So the Italian car always got people always. I've had it since 1980, right? People go, you got a Fiat? Oh, you got to fix it again, Tony?
My point is, this is because, believe it or not, my brother had a sports Spider, and it was red, and my oldest brother had a TR6. So I got it was sun yellow color, and both those cars, not to be rude, but had balls. I mean, you went through the gears. Those were fun to drive. I wish I could.
My car is still fun to drive. I'm telling you. I had a rebuilt engine. I had it restored. It can really still go. But the TR6 was a classic-looking car.
Yeah, it was, but it leaked. It leaked oil.
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily
British car.
Is your car reliable?
I have a Fiat mechanic who's my neighbor. How about that?
I understand that. Still,
I hit the jackpot with my man Joe. I'll give him a shout out, Joe Vittoria. He's my man. He fixes the car. He treats it like it's a temple. All right, now what do you got? What do you got on the season ticket holders with the Sixers here?
All right. Well, you came back maybe a couple of weeks ago and said Jeffrey Lurie should give a 20-cent discount on the last game of the Eagles.
Yes.
Okay. I understand that. But these poor people with season tickets to our beloved 76ers, they're getting dragged through the meat grinder.
They totally are. I totally agree with you.
All right, my man, I'll let you go.
All right. They are. And see, they're in an uncomfortable position. It's like when you go to a restaurant you don't like and somebody takes you there again and you have to kind of patronize it. And you get sucked up into maybe order some cocktail that tastes pretty good, and you start to believe again.
Mm-hmm. That's the third quarter.
And then the entree comes in, and it's like, oh, man, why did I do this again? You are putting these people in a position where they get sucked into cheering for that team. Not that it's the players' fault that they're thrown out there, but the circumstance of not putting together a complete team, you are now forced to enjoy a restaurant that you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great analogy. The third quarter is that nice appetizer, and the fourth quarter is the entree.
Yeah.
Last night was overtime. But...
So this is what I advise them. Now, I'm not their PR advisor. We happen to be their station that broadcasts. We have the rights to their and so we're kind of involved with the 76ers on that respect. And so this is what I would tell them. Be honest with the public now. You have taken them now almost into the month of February with this nonsensical idea that some kind of magic is going to happen in the playoffs and that the greater good has been served by these guys not playing, when in fact it's really been a violation to the consumer. So what I say, be honest, you don't have a chance to win anything this year. Come out and be honest and say Joel Embiid is not physically able to withstand the NBA season, so we decided that we're going to shut him down. And then to get your customers back, you say we are offering you 20% discount on your season tickets for next year.
I would be thrilled, but I have a stake in that game because I would like that money back, because even the investment part of, hey, let's sell some of these big games so that someone else could go to it and make our money for the season. That's not happening this year because nobody's buying those tickets.
No, and it's, yesterday I'm watching the game, and it's exciting. It was an exciting game. Now, I was fueled by a lot of Knicks fans being in the building, but you suck the fans back into, okay, the exciting part of an NBA game, you could win a game against a pretty good team. It didn't happen because they're just not strong enough to make that happen at this point. So what are you supposed to tell your fan? How could you not communicate with your fan base when this stuff is going on? It's just dishonest not to be straight with people. All right. We got to take a break, but I want to hear a text. The texter that responded to the Sixers championship text. A guy had texted in and say, you wait, the Sixers are going to win the championship. So go ahead, Sean. What do you got here?
On the texter that from the championship, he said, I can't believe there is a fan out there that, like Tom, that still believes the Sixers can win the title after everything that has happened, but still not be confident in the Eagles playing the Rams team on Sunday.
Wait, what was that again?
So what I'm trying to understand from this text is they're saying that in the same fan base, there exists someone who believes the Sixers will win the championship, and there are people that believe the Eagles won't win on Sunday.
Correct.
So they're just painting a broad brush with the one texter.
Well, the texter who said the Sixers are going to win a championship is delusional.
Correct.
It's not delusional to think that the Rams could actually win this game. No. I don't think they will, but that's not the same circumstance.
That's not the same person.
No, let's hear from a Sixers season ticket holder, the text from the season ticket holder, because these are people I want to talk to. I really, in the 1 o'clock hour, we're in the 1 o'clock hour now, I would love to talk to Sixer fans who have been put through this all year and what you're feeling about this now.
So this person checking in now is a former season ticket holder for 5 years and did not renew this year. Prices were going up again, and there were no improvements made at the time of or renewal. I had a feeling the season would go this way. It's a shame because I love the Sixers. That said, what Morey/Harris have done is fan negligence. The star doesn't play. They knew what was going on and didn't communicate. The fact that Morey has not spoken out on anything is deplorable. It's a shame for the fans and the city.
Yeah, and the other side of that is, what did you expect them to do? They had this entity named Joel Embiid. They knew that they would have to manage him delicately through this season because he wasn't healthy, his knee wasn't healthy. And I retort by going, you don't make it a priority, and I don't know how you can do it, but you have to find some way to get this guy in better physical condition and not allow him to dictate the physical condition he's in. Because when I look at it, I go, he doesn't work hard enough. And I've heard that from many people in the past administrations of the Sixers. I've heard from people who cover the league, who talk to other players who have that opinion. And I wonder, what his own teammates think of this now. 610-632-0975, back after this.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sixers win. Play that song.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
Rebounded front. Backhand shot. They score.
112, Mike Missanelli Show. Matinee at the Philadelphia Auto Show. This Corvette that you're, it's like a matte gray, but it's got the gloss with the matte color. And I thought it was a lot higher priced than, it's only $68,000. Right. That's within your budget now.
Yeah, I'm only like $65,000 short.
68,000. I expected that car to be close to $100,000.
I did too. Rodney and I were talking about when we first eyed it up when I got here, and that was our guess.
All of a sudden, the Corvette has become reasonably priced?
And I'll reasonably have that some long time from now.
All right.
It's a beautiful car. I can't stop looking at it.
Maybe people are asking me, did you get your power pack yet? No, Mikey Mess did not get the power pack. Which, our boy Mike Gemp said would be here within 5 minutes. I think Mike went to his office and forgot all about it.
Well, I could roll under one of these cars and snag it. We'll just make a run for it, too.
Would it be a violation, since he promised it, would it be a violation for me to unhook that Corvette from its battery?
Not the Corvette.
Source?
Don't do it to the Corvette.
All right. Oh, what? The Chevy here in front?
I'm not throwing anyone else under the bus. I'm just saying don't do it to the Corvette.
You don't want to eliminate yourself from a Chevy dealership down the road?
No. I love all cars, especially the ones that will say.
All right. Back to the car trivia, Ray.
Oh, no.
The vehicle manufacturer Volvo was founded in what country?
Can I get the options?
The options are Brazil, Sweden, Denmark, Germany.
All right. You already went through the German one, so I'm taking Germany out of it. So no Germany. It's not Brazil. So that leaves me what? Denmark and Sweden?
Oh, you're going Scandinavia.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going Sweden.
You're going Sweden?
I'm going Sweden.
You are correct.
Finally.
Now,
3 hours later.
You don't get credit for that unless you tell me what the other Swedish car that is popular in America is. Come on now.
I got one
two
right.
Swedish cars, Volvo, and the other one is what?
Oh, jeez.
It's a four-letter. It's a four-letter word, and it's got two vowels in it.
Four-letter words got two vowels in it. Oh, God. Help me out over here.
Seinfeld drove it.
Oh, Sam,
yes,
there you go.
There you go.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It was Jerry's favorite car. All right. One last one before we get to the calls. What does the acronym for the German multinational company BMW stand for?
We're getting the multiple choice here, please.
Bavarian Mechanical Workshop, Big Motor Wheels, Berlin Machine Works, or Bavarian Motor Works?
Oh, two Bavarians there.
Which is a tip, probably.
Yeah, it is a tip. So 50-50 shot, and I failed with the PT Cruiser earlier. So, you know what? I will go with the one furthest to the top right.
Bavarian Motor Works?
Yeah, why not?
Correct.
There we go.
Nicely done.
Back to back.
Nicely done.
W's for me.
Let's go to Weave in Elkton, Maryland. Weave, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Weave? Yo,
Weave.
Yo, Weave.
All right.
Weave, you're on the air, bud.
And there he goes.
People get on hold, right? And they like if they're at work or something, they get into it. They never know when we're coming to them, so they get into a conversation with somebody, and then they lose complete track of that they're on hold with somebody.
I mean, also the track record of Weave. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, he's
doing anything.
He's done that before. But my man T Love is always on guard, and he's calling in from Delco today. What's up, T?
Oh yeah, man, I'm always on it. You know it. Oh,
yes,
man,
sir.
Let me tell you, man. BMW, that was a black man's wish.
The BMW was the black man's wish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We can all get the Cadillacs, man, but the BMW was the wish.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Young guy, when I was a kid, anyway.
I knew a lot of brothers who liked the Nissan product.
Man, I'm talking about back in the day, man. I had a 72 Torino, like Starsky. It wasn't a Grand Torino, but, man, that 72 Torino, man, whoo, I could feel out in reverse.
I hear you.
That was the car. But, yeah, let's talk about The 76ers, man, and these season tickets. You know where I stand on this. I dropped down, man, and I feel like a sucker every day. I feel like a sucker every day, man. I was a big fan. I'm still a big fan of the 76ers, man, but I have really turned sour on JoJo. I can't do it anymore. I just cannot laud this brother and applaud him, man, because I just feel like, you know, the franchise is tied to him, and I don't know if he cares.
No, I actually agree with you at this point. I don't know if he has the desire at this. You know, I think he's been beaten down physically, and I think that's beating him down mentally. And so I agree with you. I think he's now gotten to a comfort zone where he just signed a nice, cozy contract. He's got a kid now. The whole bit, I think his priorities have changed a little bit. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope not, because when he plays, he seems to play hard. But yeah, I think at this stage of his career, he can't have the same zeal for the game or for the championship that he had before.
Yeah, when he's out there, man, I mean, there's no doubt that the guy is the truth. But here's another problem. Daryl Morey. I don't have no confidence in him. I just don't understand. It's just amazing. This is the same problem they had in the series last year. No rebounding. Nothing ever gets fixed with this team. We keep bringing the old retreads. You know, yeah, you got me this year. You got me this year. I spent a lot of money on these tickets, man, and to date, I haven't used half of them yet.
Yeah, I got you, Tilo. It's you know, I look at Josh Hart and the way he plays, and listen, not everybody plays like him. He's an aberration probably because he plays like a maniac every minute, and he almost played 50 minutes last night. And his desire and will, he's just an angry player, and he doesn't take any time off in his head when he plays the basketball game. And I'm going, all right, you're fortunate to have a player like that. I don't know how many teams have that kind of player. And I look at the Sixers and I go, who remotely plays like that? And I guess you can go, sometimes Maxey plays like that, and sometimes Yabusele plays like that. But they don't have enough guys like that. Like even Paul George, he can give you a picture of a player every now and then, but most of the time it's like his glory days are gone. And when Morey put this team together, I don't understand what he was thinking about, what he was going to get out of older players. Like, you've got to have energy when you play an NBA season. Energy, like, not to Josh Hart's level, but close to Josh Hart's level. And the only way you get that is with young energy. And so when they trot out the Eric Gordons and the Reggie Jacksons and the older players, like and even like, I know people like Kelly Oubre, but he doesn't play like a maniac. Every now and then you'll see him do something. You need guys that play like crazy, and they rub off one another, and you develop an identity. When you have guys in and out of the lineup, what identity are you actually building? You actually think that you could just, like, all the games that Joel Embiid is missing. You think now he's going to be in enough cardiovascular shape to play an stringent playoff series where you got to play every other day, and a series that may last 7 games? It's not going to happen. All right, let's take a break. Mike Missanelli, I'm just so frustrated with this Sixers situation. Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to Sunday. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. The Eagles host the Rams on Sunday, and some people are concerned with Jalen Hurts' play last week. Here's his response to his play.
I think you guys need to understand that I don't play the game for anything other than to win. And my role in each game will be different, and the approach in each game is different. Ultimately, it's about winning the game. You know, we're talking about playoff football.
Kellen Moore will interview with the Cowboys tomorrow, according to Jordan Schultz. The Flyers are on the road tonight against the New York Islanders. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game starts at 7. This update is also brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile. From testing their vehicles to creating AI that can anticipate your needs on the road. They demand that every car is worthy of their star because it's Mercedes-Benz. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5thefanatic.com.
All righty, it is 1:28 here on the Mike Missanelli Show live at the Philadelphia Auto Show. Man, I'm just looking at there's a badass all black Cadillac Escalade that's to my right here. That's a what is the baddest ass SUV going on? Like the SUVs that athletes drive. What's the Escalade kind of took a backseat to the Denali for a while. What's the badass SUV that the athletes go for these days?
I would think that.
Is the Escalade still up there?
I think the Escalade. I mean, it's a really, really slick looking vehicle.
No, it's ferocious looking.
I mean, it's also like a moth to flames for people right now. Like people are still circling.
The Escalade has cool front headlights to it, but I like the all black rims. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to give some stats for the people for Jalen Hurts, because there is this faction of people who cover the Eagles in the media who like to balance it out with the good things that Jalen Hurts is, other than the statistic that the passing game is ranked low. I didn't know this. The Jalen Hurts is only the 7th quarterback in NFL history to throw 140 or more passes over a 5-game span in the postseason without an interception. Did you know that?
I didn't know it until I saw it.
Patrick Mahomes,
yesterday.
Joe Montana, Joe Flacco, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, and Jared Goff.
Again, going back to the conversation we've had about, hey, he's just doing what they need him to win football games, protecting the football.
Only 5 quarterbacks drafted in the 2nd round, I don't know how valid this stat is, have won more playoff games than Jalen Hurts. Brett Favre, 13. Drew Brees, 9. Ken Stabler, 7. And Ron Jaworski and Colin Kaepernick with 4 each.
Only 2nd-round quarterback left in this postseason. Everyone else first-rounders. All 7 other quarterbacks first-rounders. Only 2nd-rounder left.
Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions in his first 107 attempts this year, which we've noted when they got off to a really slow start, where they had the bye week and they had a conversation and a change of plans. He's thrown only 1 interception in his last 275 pass attempts. Now, we talk about why the only way, if you have a great defense, the only way that the other team can beat you is if you give them the ball.
Right. And
don't you think the smart people, I'll give them credit, and Nick Sirianni's figured this out, the coaching staff's figured it out. If we stay away from the turnovers, nobody can beat our defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the game plan they found out. And you think that they've, I don't know, conned isn't the word you used. You wanted to, how did you circle that conversation that around Hurts of how they've convinced him this is the way to win?
They tricked him.
Tricked him. Okay,
yes.
We'll use the word trick. We won't use con on that one.
They tricked him.
I think they just looked at it and it was like, Jalen, you don't, like, you will get to do some of the things that you do best here and lead us to, maybe you're right. Maybe the trick is, maybe trick to me is too strong of a word with it, but it's a leading conversation of it's not working this way. Here's a way it can work.
Because they're not really, maybe they're not telling him this, but this is what they're thinking. There will be a time when we need you to be the passer. This is not the time.
No.
Right? And somehow they've managed to con him into that message.
I'm just curious for people that are like worried and concerned about the passing game. At what point this season have they needed the passing game and it wasn't able to hit that gear?
Not many. They've been, man, no matter what the numbers say, he's always been able to make a clutch throw.
Right. It's the only time this season that we've sat there and said, oh, they really need the passing game here, and he wasn't able to do it week 2 against the Falcons in the last 40 seconds of the game?
Exactly.
I mean, like, if that's your one example, how long ago was that?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's go to Big Lou on a cell. What's up, Lou?
Hey, fellas, how you guys?
What's happening?
Hey, man, so I wanted to talk a little Eagles, but just real quick on the Sixers. I know I pretty much have checked out of the Sixers. I thought initially when the year started, I actually thought that they would purposely hold Embiid out because they knew that there's like an inevitability that when playoff time comes, there's a likely chance that you won't be able to have him available at some point, at some juncture during the playoffs. So I felt that they were probably just trying to just see how the team would operate without him, you know, and just get used to playing without him. But this is just garbage now. So I myself, I've moved on from the Sixers at this point. They're so far, they're in so deep of a hole. I just don't see them recovering from it.
No, it's not going to happen. It's impossible for them to find some kind of Superman power and be a viable playoff team. The team it's gone too long. The attrition has gone. You don't come back from something like this. It's foolhardy to think that they could. But you know, if you remember me talking about this at the start of the season, I always had some ambivalence about how they started this season. When he didn't play early on, I said, this is not good.
That was an issue right away.
Yeah, not good. If you want to develop continuity and you're trying to do it this way, you're going to be lost. And sure enough, they were.
1,000%. Now, real quick, before you guys let me go with the Eagles, I just had a quick question, a quick hypothetical. Let's say the three quarterbacks that we currently have on our roster, if none were under contract and they all went into training camp, who do you think would win that quarterback job?
No, there's no question. No question it would be Hurts.
And that's where I'm lying with it. I know there's all these folks that are like, oh, you know, it's third string quarterback.
No. Let me say something to you, Lou. Idiots think that. The people who think Tanner McKee is like a franchise quarterback and he could step in, come on. Let's get real about this whole thing.
But my point is, though, real quick, is that Jalen Hurts' skill set fits what we do here now, period. That's just what it is.
Well, he fits what any team would do. I mean, the fact that he can run and get out of there and be mobile, I mean, that's what you're looking for anymore. You don't see a Tanner McKee. Are there any Tanner McKee quarterback? Jared Goff is maybe a Tanner McKee. But Jared Goff was drafted number 1, right? He had that kind of pedigree. Who else? What other great quarterback? Stafford's been in the league for a long time. He's managed to adapt and survive because he's clever. But they don't, like, quarterbacks that are drafted, they're not drafting Tanner McKees, are they?
No, you don't draft statues. I mean, that's what it is at this point. And listen, he had a nice game against the Giants. And when he came in relief of Kenny Pickett, fine, you know, he looked good out there. But again, who is he looking good against? That's the same argument going back to the preseason. You see him for a second half in a third preseason game, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This guy really jumps off the page. Well, no kidding, because none of those other players are jumping off the page because they're not going to be in the league. Now, he did it against the Giants, against a bad Giants team, but it's so exhausting to even like put out the thought of, yeah, if these guys didn't have contracts, who'd the quarterback be? Because it would be 1 week and you'd be like, wow, this Tanner McKee guy, I think we got to figure out something else at quarterback.
Yeah. I have a thought about this Corvette that everybody. This car is priced at $58,000. By the time they are finished with this car at the end of this auto show, I'm going to advise people: if you find out what dealership sells that car, you're going to get it at a better price because of the wear and tear. People are wearing this thing out, man. They're getting in and out. They're closing the door. They're opening the trunk to look at the engine. They're opening the front. It's like they're going to have to sell this car for at least $10,000 less than price.
I will be here on Monday following that Corvette outside of the place.
You're going to get this car at a reduced price.
I want that one right there.
You got people crawling in this thing, kicking the sideboards. Oh, my God.
It's a beautiful car, Mike.
It really is. People are just trying to, boom, they're closing the door. They're opening the door. They're shutting the trunk. Boom, they're looking at the engine. They're fiddling with the controls.
We all love what we can't have, Mike.
Oh, reduced for quick sale. A Corvette that's been at the auto show. Mike Missanelli show coming down the home stretch. Back after this.
thefanatic.com.
Coming up at 2, the best show ever. Now, Mike Missanelli, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 1:43, Mike Missanelli Show. We're coming down home stretch here. Our day spent at the Philly Auto Show. It's a fun day. Ray, I got to ask you a couple more of these auto questions. So,
oh, boy. I don't have anyone to help you.
What is the English translation for the name of the German automaker Volkswagen?
Oh, Volkswagen.
Is it A, people's car, B, king's chariot, C, traveler's wagon, or D, citizen's vehicle?
I'm going to go with people's car.
People's car, it can't be true. It's got to be traveler's wagon because it's Volkswagen. Wagen means wagon.
Yeah, but folks, people.
Well, that could be travelers also. I'm going to say it's traveler's wagon. And it's incorrect.
People's car.
No, it's people's car.
It was a people's car.
Right, it's another one right.
That's 3 in a row for me over here.
You're right, you asked on the show sheet what was your first car. What was your first car?
2002 Toyota Avalon. You want a fun fact about it?
Yeah.
I'm still driving it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My first car was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Ooh.
Because it was affordable and I bought it used off a used car lot. I just needed something to get me around.
Point A to point B.
Yeah.
How long did you have it?
I upgraded, believe it or not, I upgraded that to a Fiat Brava.
Wow.
Yeah, so before I got the convertible, I was driving around a Fiat Brava, which was a sedan that they had produced. But then they stopped selling cars in North America. So, but that was actually a pretty decent car.
Yeah, that's a nice upgrade for you.
Yeah, it was a nice upgrade. Okay, what automobile manufacturer was first to implement the assembly line for the mass production of the entire automobile?
Can I just go Ford?
Ford Motor Company is your answer, not Chevrolet or Dodge?
No, I'm going to go Ford.
Ford is correct.
I paid attention to one
Look
history
at
class.
You, man.
Look at me.
Back to the text board. We got a text on what AJ should read next. Sean, what people suggesting?
Oh, boy.
This, it's pretty good, I guess. AJ might bust out the Declaration of Independence scroll if he gets less than 6 targets by halftime.
Oh, Declaration of Independence.
Is that saying that he wants to be
the
independent
scroll.
from the Eagles?
So that would be pretty obvious if he brought out the scroll, right? That he was dissatisfied.
Is this a Nicolas Cage movie? Is he going to steal the Declaration of Independence? What are we doing here?
I'm sure he can get a copy of it from down the street. All right, what text on responding to a Sixers championship is on board here?
No name on this texter, but Sixers would win the championship was referring to the PIAA championship, right?
Oh, look at that. That's not right. They would win that.
Yeah, for sure.
They'd win the national championship, too.
Yeah.
They'd beat Duke.
They would.
Even though Cooper Flagg is playing out of his mind.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's go to Greg in Bethlehem checking in again. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, guys. Happy afternoon. How you doing?
How you doing, Greg? Greg, what kind of car you drive?
I drive a Subaru because I have to spend a fair amount of time up in the mountains for work, and I have a lot of snow. And Subaru works great.
Good for you. You got that four-wheel drive Subaru driving up those snowy mountains.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I'll take it out in the snow just to have a good time driving around.
Well, I want to see you in a Kia. I want to see you in a Kia. So, that'll do the same thing.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that sometime, but I wanted to talk about Barkley in the snow, but I wanted to ask you, have you had your battery replaced during that process?
Yeah, I have a new battery in it.
Okay, and that doesn't take a charge either.
No, I haven't. I've just. In the past, the trickler is more. I currently have the trickler on, but I have not tried to start the car yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's been so cold that I think I'm going to get a bad result,
Yeah, I mean, I had an old car that I kept trickle charging because it was difficult to start, and it kept failing, and it turned out that it was an older battery that wouldn't take a charge. So,
No, I have a new battery. In fact, right now I have a Duracell.
Oh, okay.
Duracell car battery.
You can't do much better than that.
That's correct.
As far as Barkley goes,
he's a back that typically relies on at least one ankle-breaking move for every run.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like Derrick Henry. And I wondered in the snow what the traction would be.
He'll be fine.
I
don't think he's a high stepper. He's a strong-legged runner, which means he'll adjust steps accordingly. He knows how to run in snow. He's from Whitehall, for crying out loud. Come on.
I guess being at Penn State,
Penn State, Whitehall, he used to the leg drive and leg power that he has will still be there.
Yeah, good. All right,
buddy,
well,
you got it. Appreciate the call.
That's it.
All right, Ray, what luxury car company introduced the Boxster Roadster in 1996? Was it Toyota, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche?
I'll go with Mercedes-Benz.
That would be incorrect. I thought it was the Porsche, I think. Let's see. Yeah, the Porsche.
Oh, well, I was on a nice run.
You had the German thing down.
Yeah.
All right. The next question. Saab was an automobile manufactured in what country?
This is the Bill test. Have you been paying attention to the show fully?
All right. We got Jim checking in from Mount Laurel. What's up, Jim? Hello,
hey, guys.
Jim.
First time.
How you doing?
First time. Good, man. First time, long time. Hope you guys are well.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
Thanks. I wanted to point out, this Hurts hating. I don't understand it. So I did a little digging last night into his stats. I mean, if we all agree in 22 he was MVP, top 6-7 quarterback, right?
Yep.
If you look at this year, he's got a better quarterback rating. He's got a better completion percentage, and his QBR is about the same. And he's at 100 less attempts.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it's just a conscious effort by the coaching staff to run the ball.
I agree.
It's just a simple, yeah. And
I agree. And why wouldn't they do that? See, it's the people that go, well, he needs to pass more. Well, the success comes with the way they play offense. That's why they've been successful.
Same amount of games, 15. In 22, 15 this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, they run the risk of a wide receiver getting ticked off about it, and they have to wade through that puddle every now and then. But, as AJ should learn from his inspiration book, you got to stay humble about that.
Miles Sanders at 1,200 yards, 22. Saquon's got 2,000.
Uh-huh.
There's your 100 attempts. Mm-hmm. He had 22 touchdown passes in 22. He's got 18. I just don't understand. If you just look at the efficiency and the numbers, his actually yards per attempt are higher this year than they were in 22.
Yeah. Now the thing that people look at, though, is where their passing offense ranks, and it ranks low.
They run the ball. That's what they do.
I get it. That's why they don't take into consideration what other elements the Eagles do to win games, which is their defense stops the other team, and they control the football on the ground, and that allows them to salt away most games in the fourth quarter. The formula is fairly simple, and when he has to make a throw, he makes it. Now, was it a little disconcerting to me that they didn't trust him on a 3rd and 12? Yes, that was disconcerting to me. But they're not going to be able to not trust him in a playoff game when they need a throw.
Right. And you saw that and I think this is going back, and I don't mean to quote Sirianni because I really will feel like I'm sitting in the 2 chair for this show if I do. But he mentioned that every time it became a 1-possession game, they found a way to go down and score and get something done. And you think about the pass to Goddard, it's behind Goddard. But ultimately, he got it where he needed to go. And Goddard ended up running in for that touchdown. They were able to respond in situations where they needed him to respond. Did it look clean all game long? No. Was I sitting there thrilled all game long? No. But when they needed him to do it, he was able to do it, and they were able to get done what they needed to get done.
That is correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for closing arguments.
Now, closing arguments.
Argument is simple today. I'm looking at this game as it approaches us. The Rams coming here. It may snow on Sunday. Dick Vermeil, we had a little earlier, made a great point. The Rams were on fire last week. They really spilt their bucket, as Barry Switzer used to say. And I don't believe, just like Vermeil, who has been coaching in these wars for many years, believes that it's really tough to regenerate. When you spill all out to win a game to get to that next game, it's really tough to do that again in consecutive weeks, especially when you have to come all the way east after you flew from Arizona back to L.A. and had to deal with all that stuff. Coming here against Philadelphia, cold weather, maybe snow, the whole factor of you not being able to replicate what you did the week before. I believe the Eagles will be an easy winner. At one point, I thought 5.5, maybe the Rams cover. I don't believe that anymore. I think the Eagles will win this by maybe 2 touchdowns, right?
Oh, it's going to be a beautiful game on Sunday. I can't wait. And we're going to break it down for you all 4 hours tomorrow. So
yes, we will.
That's going to be a lot of it tomorrow.
Congratulations to Bill. We'll give you the update on Bill Colarulo and the birth of his daughter. We'll have all that tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of the day. If you're coming down to the auto show, it's a lot of fun, man. Come on down. We'll talk.